Welcome back to the Night Shift Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Markley, at $Sign on Twitter. I already changed it, Billy.
Okay,
I'm here, dog. We're ready to go. I'm at $Sign. I think I already said that. To my left, the boy, Bailey Gary.
What's going on, guys? You can find me on Twitter at bgary24, capital B, capital G on Twitter.
Almost fucked that up.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you said 24, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then on my right, Jordan. I don't know. Jordan again. Just Jordan again. I'm running out of nicknames.
It's alright. It's kind of hard to keep coming up with nicknames week in, week out. But how we doing, everyone? It's at JRickful98 on Twitter.
We're in the Night Shift Podcast at _TNSP_ on Twitter. This is episode 27. It's your normal group of hooligans. We will have video, I think. Both past 2 weeks have been my fault. Last week I didn't have enough storage on my phone. 2 weeks ago, I didn't change the auto lock thing.
Yeah.
So both of those are taken care of. So
Are you sure?
If it doesn't work, do you want to run up and check? You have easier access. Pause.
That's crazy. Yeah, I trust you.
Okay, well, thank you. I'm glad somebody does. But it's episode 27, and if you've been listening over the last few weeks, you will know this is a very special episode. It's an episode that has been talked about since our first episode, I would say, because if you remember, if you're an OG, when we were back to record episode 1 in my kitchen with the echo and everything, we did our halfway top 5 albums of the year at that point. And tonight, since this is the second to last Monday before the end of the year, we're doing our top 10 albums of the year along with some awards that we decided to come up with. Not awards in the sense of like your Grammys and your best this and that, but more so subjective awards that maybe will be different for all of us. We'll go over that when we get to the time. But before we get into the albums, that's going to be the main squeeze. It's going to take us a good amount of time to get through everything. So we're going to do a quick what we're listening to as always. But before we get into that, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, YouTube, All the Night Shift Podcast. Like I said, the Twitter at _TNSP_. There's a link tree there. Take you everywhere you need to be. And yeah, I think I covered all the bases. Ben, what have you been up to? Real quick. Give us the rundown.
Nothing's really changed from last week. I mean, to be honest,
Cyberpunk. Real quick, I wanted to get your opinions. Just real quick. What do you think about the whole Cyberpunk refund thing? Have you seen that? Yeah,
I've seen it. I'm thinking about finessing to get my 60 back.
I would.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I haven't had too many problems.
So you haven't had any problems? You're on PCs, so you're fine.
I haven't had
people have been having problems.
People have problems. I haven't had any problems. I think the refund is cool, but at the same time, like, a lot of the problems I've noticed are with people with PS4.
Yeah.
And the problem is...
base PS4s and Xbox Ones are really struggling.
And
it's a how many year old console and a brand new game? Yeah, I saw that. It's like, what, a 2013?
The problem is
I mean, this game was not developed for the PS4.
No.
And people need to come to the realization
the problem is they announced it.
And it was already dumbed down to be able to play it on the PS4.
They announced it like 5 years ago. So by then, you're still halfway through the PS4's life cycle. You have to release it on the PS4 at that point.
Yeah.
You don't want to just push it to next gen because then people are going to be upset about that.
5 years?
Oh, yeah. I think it was announced before.
It was shortly after. I mean, like a year or two after The Witcher came.
I saw like because
they did The Witcher.
A thing of like their span. The game got announced sometime in like the early 2010s, like 2011, 2012, but they didn't start developing the game until
it was like a hidden thing for a while.
You know what's funny to think about, Jordan? It's made by the same people who made The Witcher, which is a very deep game with a whole world that has been explored, and there's like they don't do that in Cyberpunk.
See, I think the absolute opposite.
I'm saying, but they don't connect it with the story.
Like
you can go do a lot of different stuff, but like they don't tie it in together. I just find it interesting.
That's a good point. I didn't think about it like that. See, I think the side missions play into the story, but I think with what you're saying, like.
They don't bring it all together. They don't bring the universe together
like
as well. Yeah.
You haven't beat story yet.
Yeah.
So I can't sit here and I think your opinion on that will change. I would agree that they don't do a great job of it, but if you do all the side missions before you beat the story, it ties in very well. So that's all I'll say on that. But I would agree, like the NCPD stuff you do, like the all that stuff, it really doesn't have any correlation to like, because like that stuff still pops up like throughout the world. So I don't know. It's good though. I mean, it's.
What do you think about the refunds?
I see. I'm weird because like I think if you're not happy with the game, like you should be able to get your money back. But at the same time, like for me personally, maybe I just thought differently. I knew right away that this game was not going to be made. Like, as much as they said that, yeah, you can play it on PS4, I already knew that looking at, like, graphics from, like, trailers and stuff and gameplay and stuff, I already knew it was going to be bad on the old system. So, like, for me personally, like, I had a thought that it was not going to be good on the old systems, and it turns out it's not.
Let me jump in on that, too, real quick. I don't have the game yet. I'm waiting till the next-gen version, especially now. I also think, too, that, like, people thought for whatever reason that just because CD Projekt Red was making this game that wasn't going to have any issues at launch.
Yeah.
And, like, you guys remember how bad Skyrim was or Fallout or any of those games. You're going to have a whole bunch of bugs. Even like Assassin's Creed. Like, these games have bugs.
Speaking of Assassin's Creed, I'm going to say real quick, they released a PS5 version, and it just plays and looks so good.
I'm excited to get into that.
Yeah.
The more I play it, the more I like it.
If you guys have more to talk about Cyberpunk, I'm going to check the phone because I want to make sure it's
That's
taping.
fine.
Yeah, I can say a little bit more. I think
don't look at my list.
I think when like we have a game like The Witcher, right? Who has that like CD Projekt Red? They made an absolute phenomenal game, right?
Yeah, one of the best in recent memory.
Yeah, I think
They still see us.
that like you going on that like high, and the thing is like this game has like some bugs that are like bad, but it also has some bugs that are really fucking funny. They're hysterical. So I think people just need to like.
Well, what is it? I was playing the other day, and I'm trying to say this without spoiling anything. Well, saying rogue doesn't spoil anything.
No,
really.
rogue means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. But anyway, so you know when you go give her the money to do that mission, you know the chip. Literally, she picks up the chip. Here's her hand. The chip is over here, and she puts it in like the back left, and it's on her. Yeah, her left, and it's on the right hand side of the stick. Then she goes to hand it to me, and it's like over here.
Yeah, the funniest thing that I witnessed, which I actually died to, which made me mad, but I was laughing at the time. Later on, I won't say the mission, but like later on in the story, you do a mission, and
that's riveting analysis right there. Later on in the game, you do a mission.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That means absolutely nothing. But there's these big fucking robots. Okay, well you're like in a tight area, and the fucking robot was in the rock, shooting me from the rock. I couldn't kill it because he was literally in the rock. The fucking turrets were sticking out of the rock, shooting me. I'm like,
speaking of tight areas, I just met Pan Am.
Oh yeah. Anybody that's playing Cyberpunk,
I'm thoroughly confused.
Chef kiss.
Pan Am's a woman.
So you have anything else to say?
No, light skin.
Jordan, what have you been up to?
Cyberpunk.
Alright, cool.
I'm like a 3D character.
No, I'm not fucking a 3D
I'll keep it short and sweet. Demon Souls is kicking my ass. I cannot beat the third boss for the life of me.
Tight areas, short and sweet. What else is next?
I can't even get to the fucking third boss anymore. I keep dying.
You need to look up a guide.
I did.
Oh.
And I want to try going back, but right now it's not the time. I've been playing Call of Duty and whatever. 2K. I'm excited for NBA
we need to play
coming
Prop
back
Hunt
tomorrow. Oh my god, dude! Prop Hunt is the funniest shit in the world.
It's I have to finagle it tonight. I have my solid state. I have to see if it's still installed on there.
Well, you let us know.
Yeah, I'll work it tonight.
And then also the last thing I have to say is I finished season 3 of My Hero. Started season 4 today. I'm in love with that show. I only watched 2 episodes of season 4, so I'm not too far. But I watched 5 episodes today.
Literally I remember the last 2 episodes of
this shit got dark quick.
Oh yeah, the last 2 episodes of season 4. I watched it and I went back and watched it again. Okay, the first time I watched it, I got emotional. I didn't cry, maybe, but I got emotional.
I'll cry.
And then the last 2 episodes,
that's got me scared as fuck.
I went back and rewatched them. Bro, I get goosebumps when I watched that last. I don't know how it's perceived by people, but
oh fuck people, we're the night shift.
That's true.
We can do what the fuck we want.
But it's
nobody else's opinion matter.
The short amount of time, not short because 2 episodes is an hour. Only 40. Anyway, you get what I'm saying. But
46 minutes.
Yeah, but it's what happens in the change in a certain character. It's just character development.
I'm hype as shit.
It's.
I've been having a blast because I'm in this lull where I beat Spider-Man and Demon Soul doesn't scream in my name because it's pissing me off, and Call of Duty's fun, and but we're just in that little lull,
Yeah.
But next year it's gonna pick right up. I'm not worried. I got a few games I want to play eventually. But
I guess something new. Mandalorian. Finished watching that.
I gotta watch that too. Apparently
it's really good.
Insane.
I gotta watch
really
it good. Remember the week that I didn't want you to spoil it? Mm-hmm. Well, my dad was talking to me about it.
He spoiled it.
Well, not on purpose, but I already had a gist of who it was and who I thought it was is who it is. So I'm okay.
See, I don't know. So
that gets me super excited.
Once I finish, my idea is I'm gonna finish My Hero. I'm gonna go through Mandalorian, and then I'm gonna start Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
I think that's my idea.
Speaking of Attack on Titan, new episode came out Sunday, and I watched it today. It's season 4 is the first time you watch season 4, you're gonna have no clue what the fuck's going on.
Good.
And at the very beginning, you're gonna be confused, but they're tying it together now, and I'm kind of understanding what's going on. And from my understanding, because when Attack on Titan season 2, I think it was, ended, I started reading the manga, and then I got to the end of season 3 before, like, reading wise, but before, that's when I stopped reading it. So what I'm watching now is pretty much what I would have missed, and I can tell there's a time gap, and it's kind of I'm trying to puzzle what's going on together. And it's just kind of confusing.
I'm kind of confused when I watch anything.
Yeah.
So
I'm
one of those people. I get it from my dad. Like, my dad will watch a movie and he'll have no fucking clue what's going on.
The thing with Attack on Titan especially is, like, at first, like, it doesn't seem like it's going to be complex, and then you start, as the show goes on longer, it just becomes, like, jumbled, and, like, it's like a huge complex story, essentially.
Okay. So, like, my thing is, like, I'm going to be away from my PlayStation for a couple of days, because I'm going back to my parents' house for, like, a week to hang out for Christmas and whatnot. So I'm probably just going to watch a lot of shit then.
Yeah.
I might take my Switch, I might not. I might just watch shit. But that's all I've been doing. Are we ready to get into it?
I believe.
Born ready.
All right. So here's how we're going to do it. We talked about it before. We're going to do we each have 10 albums. There's not going to be an agreed, if you remember our tier lists and our whatever the fucks we do, hit battles and everything, we're not agreeing on this. This is our personal list. We're not going to have a collective Night Shift Podcast album of the year, although there's a potential we could if we all have the same album. I have no idea what's on anybody's list. We've talked very, very minimal about it, but we wanted to keep it a surprise for all of us to hear each other's lists, where we put stuff, all that fun stuff. Conversation will pop up, I'm sure. So what we'll do is, for the album part, we'll do... Let's go in the order I said at the beginning. So Jordan will go first, and then we'll just go this way, and then we'll go back to Jordan. So Jordan will start. He'll list all of his honorable mentions. So we have our top 10, then we have honorable mentions. I don't have to explain honorable mentions. We're just going to breeze through them. So Jordan will say his honorable mentions, say what he needs to say about them in a very quick succession, and then he will say his number 10, say what he needs to say about it. I'll give my honorable mentions, I'll do my number 10, so on and so forth, and then once Bailey does his, we'll go back to Jordan for 9. Once we get through all the albums, we agreed on 3 awards that we were going to give out. MVP of the year, connected with our sports connection. What artist we thought had the biggest year. Pretty self-explanatory. What was biggest surprise? We're breaking that down into 2 separate categories. So, biggest surprise artist to us this year, biggest surprise album to us this year. And the last one, opposite of the biggest surprise, is our biggest disappointment, album and artist again. So, that's what we're going to do. We're excited. We might be here for a little bit, but we only do it because we care about music, and I think it's been a great year for music. And with that being said, I'm going to shut up. Jordan, give me your honorable mentions. I think Jordan has 19 of them or something like that.
I have a lot of honorable mentions.
So, give me your honorable mentions. And then Bailey and I are going to shut up, let you have the floor until you're done talking.
No, it's all right.
I
think I can say for all of us, I think this would be one of the hardest years to come up with a list.
This was tough.
Because
I have very good albums that missed my list.
Yeah, well, and that's why I have so many honorable mentions, because, like, if some of these albums didn't drop this year, they easily would have been right up in my 10. So, there's even a couple ones that I missed that I just thought of off the top of my head. First being, I didn't have the Jack Harlow album on here. That's honorable mention for me as well. I didn't have that on here, just looking at it. But go from the bottom to the top. Circles by Mac, RP Mac. I actually like Swimming a little bit more than Circles, but this album is still really, really good. High Off Life, love that album. Simon B. Chris
High
Brown.
Off Life's who? Future?
Yeah, Future, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, if you want to say something, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Simon B., Chris Brown, and Young Thug. I like Chris Brown a little bit more than these guys, so that album hit a little bit more.
Wait, that's the Young Thug and Chris Brown album?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that came out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Music enthusiast Brian.
It's weird. It's a weird album because, like, you kind of have to like Chris Brown to like it, because it's pretty 50-50, like Chris Brown and Young Thug, but I liked it. Fuck the World by Brent Faiyaz. I wish I would have had more to listen to this album. I only started listening to this album maybe about 2 weeks ago, actually. And I wish I would have started listening to it more because that might have slipped into my top 10. I don't know, but it was really good. That's one I debated on. Unlocked by Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats. That came out at the very, very, very beginning of the year, like January something. No Pressure by Logic. A great send-off album for him. That one actually struggled to be in my top 10 too, just because of like the meaning and like, it's going to be last studio album and whatever. 6-Piece Hot by Black. That one also struggled to be in my top 10 because I love Black. I love that whole album straight through. I wish it was longer. I wish he just made an album and...
I think it's coming.
I think it's coming too. I wish he just... whatever. Made the album and then just... That would have been 100% in my top 10 because I think every song on there is phenomenal. Revenge of the Dreamers 3 Deluxe.
Jesus, that came out this year too.
Very, very, very beginning of the year as well in January. I said you had a couple of things that were on there and weren't on there, so I was making sure, like, when I looked on that album thing, like, to see when they actually came out, and it was like...
Well, I'm sure, because, like, for those that don't know, I kept a list, pretty much a running list throughout the year of what came out, because I knew we were going to be doing this, and Jordan already listed some that I missed, but, like, it was just stuff I would listen to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's some stuff, obviously, Jordan said that I didn't even
and then
know.
the album that I struggled with the most is that's why I went from the bottom to the top. Is Meet the Woo 2 with Pop Smoke. I mean, RP Pop, definitely the biggest Pop fan here. That's that sound that he just did is just insane. Love that album so much, and I struggled to be.
So that would be your 11. Would that be your number 11?
No, that actually I almost made that my number 10. That almost was.
But that's your last honorable mention, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm saying that would be if we said.
Oh yeah.
What was your 11th one?
Yes. Sorry, that would have been my 11 album, 100%, because that album, I love that album.
Real quick before you can go to your 10, Bailey, if you have an album too that's like that would have been your 11 or whatever, go ahead and say it. I don't care. Like.
And then for 10, I had My Turn by Lil Baby as being my number 10. I actually like this album a lot. I actually wanted to put it higher, but the problem I had with it is it's not an album that you can sit and listen straight through. I think just the non-deluxe version, I think is 18 songs.
Okay, so you're doing the non-deluxe one, correct?
Yeah, non-deluxe, yeah.
Just clarify, because, deluxe albums be like,
well, the deluxe, and that just adds the thing. I think the deluxe is 26 songs. I love just about all the songs on there, but I struggle to sit and listen to it straight through. There's a couple songs off there that, like, Heating Up with Gunna, We Pay with 42 Doug, which
that
is on the deluxe.
Crazy.
But
is Emotionally Scarred on this one?
That's
one of my favorite Baby songs. I don't listen to Baby much, but
that's on the regular. That's like song 6 or something like that. That's one of my favorite Baby songs ever. I'm really curious to see what his next album sounds like, because this has a little bit of like Emotionally Scarred. It's a little slow, a little like touchy feely, but then you also have like Heating Up and We Pay, which are just like You want to say something?
Yeah, it's about Lil Baby, but it's not his music.
Oh, go ahead.
Did you guys see, like, you guys know who Tiana Trump is?
No.
She's a porn star. Apparently, he cheated on his girl and fucked her. And there's a video.
Oh, okay.
I just thought that.
I didn't know that, but
yeah, you blew her back out.
wise words of Bailey podcast. You learn something new every day.
I'm sure you can go on Twitter and find it.
I also put in my list with features too. Like, not that I had features on him, but like I liked what he did. Like, not that you listen to Baby all that much, but like I liked some of the smaller features he did with some like the smaller unknown artists alive, which boosted me putting him up there as my number 10 album.
I don't think you have this on your top 10.
No.
Okay, I don't either. So if you have anything to say about the album, go ahead. I didn't listen to it much. I don't.
I didn't listen to it much either.
Okay.
I really think you should, but
like I said, Baby is a song artist for me.
Yeah.
Songs I like. I don't need a whole project. I'll pick and choose some songs. I didn't really get Heating Up's really good, and like I said, Emotionally Scarred.
Yeah.
And that 42 Doug one.
Yeah,
42 Doug funny his voice funny. So okay, so Jordan's number 10 is
My Turn.
My Turn by Lil Baby. Sorry, I forgot what the name of the.
All right. It's a sick album cover too.
Yeah,
he sits on the edge with like the sunset in the background. It's a sick
don't
album
peek.
cover.
Just guy, bro.
Okay. I have to go paper and pen because the list on my phone is obviously being used for recording. Honorable mentions. This is in no particular order. I will point out what a potential number 11 would be.
Yo, Jordan.
My first one's a little funky, right? My first honorable mention is 2 albums from the same artist. Party Mobile, Party Pack by Party Next Door. Actually, Party Pack better, but it's hard to count that because it's a nice little EP of old songs, much like Care Package. I love it. Party Mobile has grown on me by the day, and I guarantee you if we probably waited another week, it might have cracked the top 10. This one's not gonna piss Bailey off, but gonna catch him off guard. Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs is an honorable mention. I know. No Pressure by Logic I also have as an honorable mention. The Price of Tea in China by Boldy James, newer Griselda artist, that album is sick. Very good album. Who Made the Sunshine by Westside Gunn. Another one that might catch you guys off guard. While the World Was Burning, St. John is an honorable mention. And then what would probably be my 11, which is also going to piss Bailey off, is RTJ4 by Run the Jewels. That being said, I'm going to keep the surprises going.
Oh, no.
Number 10, That's What They All Say by Jack Harlow.
Really?
Now, I know it's new, and I could be suffering from recency bias, but this...
No,
it's a really, really good album. And the more I listen to it, the songs I didn't like have grown on me a ton. The Chris Brown one is perfectly fine. Still don't love it, but like it's I like it better than I did. I cannot believe I like this album as much as I do. I just think Harlow's very... He's not... I wouldn't say he's the most unique person out there, but he is very different from what everybody else was doing this year. And I knew, you guys remember if you listened to the podcast, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, oh, let me listen to more Jack Harlow. And I didn't even know his album was coming out. And here it is. It's number 10 on my list. I will tell you, I'll give you some insight. I was struggling between... I said RTJ4 was my 11. I was struggling between Run the Jewels 4, this Jack Harlow album, and the St. John album for my number 10. For a while there, it was St. John.
Yeah.
And then this one came and overtook it, just ever so slightly. But yeah, it's still one of those things where it's still developing, but like the songs he has on there that I like are like some of my favorite songs this year.
Yeah.
We were talking about it. 21C and Delta, love that song. I think it's a fantastic song. Funny Seeing You Here is like, I told these guys, like, probably one of my favorite songs of the year. Quickly. And maybe it's because, if you are familiar with the album and you're familiar with people that are talking about the album, they're saying there's a lot of Drake influence in it. And I can hear it. And maybe that's why I like it a lot. But, like, his accent is very subtle, but it also does a lot. And he can flow on anything. Mm-hmm. Like, I just tip my hat to Jack Harlow. And the dude's been grinding for a while. I know he had all these projects out. Yeah. I've gone back and listened to older stuff. Like, I would say I'm a Jack Harlow fan based strictly off of this album and the short time I've had with it. I really, really enjoy it. It exceeded my expectations. Not that I had a lot coming in. I was like, let's give it a spin because I knew the kid could rap, but I didn't know he could put a body of work together that is this good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's my number 10. BG.
Okay, so for my honorable mentions, I had "Fuck the World" by Brent Faiyaz, "Who Made the Sunshine" by Westside Gunn, "While the World Was Burning" by St. John. The Allegory by Royce da 5'9", Unlocked by Denzel Curry and Kenny Beats. I had Meet the Woo 2 and Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon here in R.I.P. Pop. And then... oh,
that's right. Meet the Woo 2 came out this year, too.
And then The Price
Wait, that's the one you said?
That was my 11.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
And then The Price of Tea in China by Boldy James. My 10 is actually Logic's No Pressure.
Really?
We've already talked extensively,
yes.
Yeah.
Use the right word.
About this project before.
Go listen to the No Pressure episode. I think that's the name of the name of the episode if you want to hear like all of our thoughts on it. But sorry, Beth.
It was a great send off for Logic. These are some of the best beats he's rapped ever since his first album. Him and No ID kind of gave his career a proper send off that it deserved. Mm-hmm. There's only 2 songs I don't have in a playlist, which is Dad Bod and Obediently Yours. So
Dad Bod kind of sucks.
Yeah, so that's 13 songs straight of Logic that I like. So I mean,
if I would have told you in 2020 you have 13 straight songs of Logic you really liked.
I wouldn't believe you. So, but yeah, this was a proper send off to someone that I wouldn't say maybe fall in love with hip hop, but one of the reasons I love hip hop. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it was great to see him finally stop putting out shit and put out a good album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll say my piece real quick. As I go back to that album, I'm like, oh shit, this is really good. I just didn't listen. It's just not one I go back to enough to have it in my top 10. Mm-hmm. Okay, Jordan, take us to the number 9.
Number 9. feel like this one was kind of already coming. Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon by Pop
See, I was confused. I thought that was the one he said was his honorable mention.
No,
I forgot he had 2 albums.
I was surprised he didn't mention that, so I thought never mind.
I was stupid.
Yeah, that's my 9. I don't know if it's necessarily better than Meet the Woo 2. I know we've talked about it, and I've always been.
It's a sentimental.
I've always been on. You've always been Meet the Woo 2. I've always been Shoot for the Stars. I like that mix.
You like the mix more than I do.
like the. He has the rap on here with like Gangsta and the Got It On Me, the Many Men remix, and what else is on?
So
here?
all the songs you just said, I really love. Those are the ones I really like.
Yeah, right.
But when you get to the What You Know About Love, which I actually like, What You Know About Love. Yeah, that's like the one I like. But then the other ones, like Mood Swings, like
and like Something Special and all that stuff. Like you're not huge on that stuff, but like me, like I personally like that. I like the variety that he did in there. I like him going out of his element and doing something a little different.
And this is why.
Come on.
And that's why these lists are subjective. So
right. I don't have too much to say because we talked about it in detail later on early in the year. I don't know when that was, but
yeah, it was Running the Jewels 4 episode. That was that one. We did both those albums.
Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm. It was. That was. Oh my god.
What is your favorite song on that album? As a guy who really liked Pop Smoke. Not saying we don't like Pop Smoke, but you know what I mean. Like Jordan probably listened to this album a lot more than both of us.
Favorite song, probably Deluxe or No Deluxe.
No Deluxe. Just vanilla. Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. That's Deluxe.
That's Deluxe. Okay, I can give you 3. I can give you 4.
Go ahead.
Gangsters, Got It On Me. I really like What You Know About Love, and then Tunnel Vision, the outro. I think that outro is sick.
No Bulldog.
It's okay.
Yeah, I would agree. Bulldog's okay.
It's okay.
I like Gangsters a lot.
Yeah. I love Tunnel Vision. That honestly is up there as one of my favorite songs by him ever. I just love the outro. I love the subtle, like, it's not a crazy beat, but he's just rapping. I love it.
Number 9. It's gonna look funny every time. It look like an old ass man.
You look like you read a newspaper.
I know, right? Circles by Mac Miller.
Okay.
If you remember our halfway episode, I think I had it like 3 or 4. Now we only did 5 then. My thing with Circles is I love it. Obviously, it's on my top 10. The reason it's not higher is the same reason for Jordan, in the sense that I really have to be in the mood to listen to Circles, if that makes sense. Like, it's not one I spin frequently, but when I do, I enjoy it. Obviously, it's on my top 10 of the year. I enjoy it. I knew Ben would be taken aback a little bit at it being this low. I think just for the reason that I don't spin it nearly as much as I did other albums on this list throughout the year.
Yeah.
But I still needed to put it on there because it's still, if Mac was still alive, this is what his next part of his career would be. It's still, sonically, it's very good. it's very artistic. And for a guy like we always say about Kanye, who's always changing per album, Mac's the same way. And here's just another example of that. And unfortunately, after it was put out after his passing, and that holds a little bit more of a sentiment to me, I think, too. Not that it's a bias, because I don't like using bias in terms of an artist I like that passed away, because obviously I'm gonna like that album. Yeah. That's the last time you hear it. But I loved what he did with it. We always knew Mac was a musical genius. He was a great person, and to really change his total sound once again. And really kind of stray away from rapping more and more so singing and instruments. And obviously he's always had that stuff in his music, but he really went the whole way into it. And he will always be remembered for being a great guy and being a great artist, a great musician, and always changing, experimenting. And it might not be approved right away, or it might not be not approved or accepted, but it might not gel with people right away. But that's the type of music that lasts. This is the type of album that's going to really resonate years down the line.
Because that other shit's just here today,
much like
tomorrow.
Well, right, yeah. With that being said, I'm good. Bailey, go ahead.
Yeah, I know my one friend. Not to interrupt you, Bailey. I know she's listening right now. She's disappointed in us, both of us, because that album was like her top album of the year. Yeah, I know she's disappointed, but it's all right.
So for number 9,
Jordan's friend.
I have Heaven or Hell by Don Toliver. This album, I looked back at it recently.
Wow, I'm surprised you have that on your list.
I like every song on this album. There's not a miss on it. It's essentially a nice hold me over for when Travis actually drops. Not that he is completely like Travis, but it's a nice kind of.
It's the same vibe.
Yeah, it's the same vibe. He doesn't. There's like I said, there's not a bad song on this album.
Not at all.
Travis has found the perfect like apprentice,
protege,
whatever you want to call it.
Not to interrupt you, but like him going on tour with The Weeknd too
Oh,
is
yeah.
going to be even better for him.
Oh yeah, and it's like the thing is like yeah, we say he's Travis's perfect protege, but he's good enough to stand alone by himself, and it's going to be crazy to see where he goes because his trajectory is only upwards from here. If you ask me.
Real quick, I want to interrupt. I know I keep saying I didn't want to interrupt you, but I can tell you I don't have Heaven or Hell on my list. I would have put it in an honorable mention. I didn't mention it. I would have put it in an honorable mention, and if we would have went with the Rookie of the Year category, that probably would have been my pick. I totally forgot about that.
If Jordan didn't mention it in his, Jordan didn't mention it in his honorable mention, so I'm guessing it's on here somewhere.
Let's find out.
I'd assume it would be because
find
it's
out.
Jordan.
I'm not going to say anything else because
Have to find out.
I don't have it on my list. But
That's fine.
do you have any? You good?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, I guess to me.
8.
Number 8. This is where the middle part for me really struggled with where I wanted to put it. This is where I was talking to these guys before we started the pod. I listened to these albums that I had, and I was like, ooh, do I want to put these higher than what I have them? Because I really like this album, or does this album not hit as well? But I stuck with what I had on here originally. Number 8 is Limbo by Amine.
I forgot
This is his second studio album, right? Because 1.5 was technically his first.
No, I think this is his,
This is his first.
I think it's his debut studio album.
Okay, well, for being a debut album, this whole album's sick.
Mm-hmm.
I love every single song on the album. I love it more than 1.5. I wasn't sure if I did at first or not, but this album's sick. I don't skip this album when I listen to it at all. It's straight through. I'm really curious to see what he does with his next couple albums because he's kind of like he kind of reminds me of well, this is going to be a stretch, but just listen to me. It's kind of reminding me of Jack Harlow when you say like the versatility. He can do a little bit of everything, and I'm curious to see what he's going to do.
Yes.
I know you have it on there, so you go.
I forgot that I should have put that in my honorable mentions.
Okay.
I fucked up.
That's all right.
Yeah. I know you have.
Sorry, I fucked up with a lot of honorable mentions I don't have. So
I totally forgot about that album. It's
like,
really,
I probably even put Jack Boys as an honorable mention because like that was sick.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it gave us Gotti.
Yeah, right.
That's another cool.
I mean,
song.
it had enough was on Don's album. It had What
Out
to
West.
Do, Highest in the Room, which is apparently better than whatever you said it was. Better
I
than.
don't know. We're always arguing about something stupid on this podcast. You have anything else to say about Limbo?
No, I'm just really looking forward to what he does with his next couple of stuff because I'm a huge Amine fan, so I'm curious.
All right, number 8, Positions, Ariana Grande. I think it's Ari's best album. I've come to that conclusion personally. I'm trying to think what I really want to say. I mean, it's the R&B album we've been wanting, from her for a while. Speaking of Ariana Grande, that Netflix special came out today. I didn't watch it yet, so I have to re-up my Netflix.
Yeah,
I'm about to log
me
into
too.
Brooks' account when I get home.
Better send me Brooklyn info because I need to watch
All right,
it.
word.
we're playing COD tonight.
That's fine. I got it all night. I got shit to do in the morning. But yeah, it's a perfect example of an album that, when the features are there, there's not like a shit ton of features because Ari can carry an album herself, obviously. But having even the Doja Cat one, I think, was super surprising to me. Ty Dolla $ign on the Weekend. I mean, come on, like that's our alley. But like, it was perfectly constructed in the sense that it's like the features don't overtake her at all. Not many people are overtaking Ari when it comes to music, but like, you know what I mean. It's not crowded. Doesn't she is the one that shines, and she is much more open with what she's saying in songs. It's an adult album. I think we said when we were talking about it, and that's what I think I like the most about it because we're big R&B guys. Like I love that shit, and it just makes it better. That's Ariana Grande talking about
Absolutely.
that. But yeah, it had to be on my list somewhere, and I felt like bottom half is like the perfect spot for it because like again, same kind of thing with Circles. Is like I haven't listened to it much since, but when I did listen to it, I listened to that bitch like 17 times straight. So I still have a review that I wrote for the Snapper that I never uploaded, so maybe just pop it up on the site, or I'll just copy and paste it and just like put it on my blog or something. But
There you go.
shout out Ari. She's engaged, but I still love you.
Me too.
Bailey, get us off of here and go to number 8.
So you talked about recency bias. I have That's What They All Say by Jack Harlow.
At 8,
I fucking love this.
let's
album.
go, baby.
I love this album. I did not expect to like this as much as I did, and I think that's partially because I did not think that Jack Harlow was going to make this kind of music. We talked about it before, but it's a lot more introspective and
Soulful.
yeah, it's not of that. It's more of that stuff than it is of what I thought it was going to be, which was the What's Poppin' and Tyler Herro kind of stuff, which aren't bad songs, but it's just not. How do I say it? It's not that it's not. I don't want to say not impressive.
It's the balance of it.
I don't want to say it's not impressive, but it's just like it's easier to find that stuff that
the beat.
Yeah, like that jumpy kind of good music that gets you hype or whatever. But
and then you have the catchy hook, and that's all you need,
exactly. So, but that he actually sat down and rapped. I don't want to say that's not rapping, but like he actually made a song that tells a story or whatnot. And don't get me wrong, the songs that were meant to hit. Like the song with Big Sean, that shit go crazy. Or the one with Lil Baby. But from a debut album,
stretch.
Yeah. This is not what I expected from his debut album. He overdid expectations, in my personal opinion, and another guy whose trajectory is only going up. This album's great.
I agree. Absolutely. I want to spin that album more.
Yeah. I said these guys, but a lot of Drake vibes, which is fine. I'm fine with that.
I'm really interested to hear more about what you think of that Chris Brown song, because you like Chris Brown more than both of us.
Oh, yeah. I guess, let's look at the track list. I like this song with Chris Brown. Like, it's alright. I don't think it's anything crazy. I actually don't need Chris Brown's part, to be honest. Same guy with Adam Levine. Like, it's okay. It doesn't, like... Tyler Herro is fine, but I'm not going to put it in a playlist. Same with What's Poppin'.
You're not putting Tyler Herro in the playlist?
No.
Dog, that shit's fucking...
It's good, but it's not, like...
It's one of my favorite beats of the year.
It might go in a different playlist, but it's not
Okay. I understand you.
Yeah, the Love Is Joe song was fun. I mean, I really want...
I like that one more as I listen to it.
I feel like him and Bryson could make a really,
they do have another song together.
Okay, well, I was going to say, I feel like they can make a really good song together, but this just wasn't that really good song together, in my opinion.
Go listen to the other one, then. I want to... I haven't listened to it much, so I can't really say much about it, but...
That's all I have to say.
Okay. We're on 7.
We're on 7. One that was already previously mentioned in an honorable mention, Party Mobile by P&B.
I knew Jordan was going to have it on his list, and I knew he was slightly disappointed that I didn't have it on my list.
I wouldn't say disappointed. I just thought it would sink into your list because we had been talking about that album.
It grew on me a huge...
Yeah,
it did
we've
grow on
been
me
talking
a ton.
about that album a lot.
To be fair to me, before you continue,
yeah,
that came out like a week after another one.
Yeah,
so
it did. It's got that... I don't know. It's just got that party sound. I don't know how to describe it. If people listen to Party Next Door, you know what I'm talking about. It's just got that party sound that just hits. Like a cold night or like a depressed night or like just a whatever you want.
I'm going to cry.
Yeah,
or
like,
both.
Just that mood. Party can deliver it. And I think Party Mobile, I honestly can say that rivals up there for me personally 1 and 2. It rivals 1 and 2 for me because I love this album. Straight through, no skips. I love the album so much. It's not... Okay, let me correct that. It's not better than 1, but it rivals 2 for me, personally. Because 1's just on another level.
Yeah, 1's different.
But 2, it definitely rivals for me.
Too. Yeah.
I love the album.
I mean, it's a return to form for Party.
That kind of... What you talked about on the Ariana Grande album, this is kind of the same way I thought about this album. Like, the features, like, great. Granted, we have a Drake feature, right? And the Drake feature is, like, okay on Loyal. But then you have, like, the Rihanna feature on Believe It, which is pretty good. But, like,
that freaked people out because that was the first time we heard Rihanna on a song in years.
Yeah.
It's anti.
It just kind of, like, helps build to the album. It doesn't really hurt Party because he's still doing his thing. And,
well, that's it. That's the only 2 features.
Yeah,
and your only 2 features are Drake and Rihanna, and then if you count Bad Bunny. But, I mean, it's like a remix, so...
right.
That was tacked.
But even still, for people that like Bad Bunny Spanish music, maybe you hop in and it's like, oh yeah, this song's sick because
it brings in a different audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good album.
Yeah, love it.
Rihanna's really hot. I just instantly thought of that when you mentioned it.
Well, like I said, I mean, we give this a couple more weeks. I mean, it probably might have snuck in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good.
And it's that time of the year.
And like I said, it is a return to form for Party because, well, before that, it was P&D 3, which is just okay. It's too long and pause. But, you know, then there was that 7 Days EP, which kind of sucked. And then there was Colors 2 EP, which is decent.
Yeah.
That was back on the uptick.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Colors is bad because obviously that has... what's the first song called? It's...
oh my
Peace
God.
of Mind.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that song. And then the one, Freaking You, of course. But yeah, Party Mobile is very good. It's still the worst... I think probably the worst album name of 2020, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have did better. I mean, the album cover is fucking awful, too. Mm-hmm. But, I mean...
You didn't say Party Pack. Would it have been like an honorable mention?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since we didn't really count that, it's not really.
Definitely would have been an honorable mention,
album,
100%. Cuffed Up is just something different.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah, that's just something
Quavo's
different.
kind of not saying anything.
No,
but
he's
it's
not.
still sick.
But it's just that party sound. You know what I mean? It's just that thing again.
Are we on 7?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Spillage Village. Another album that like I was excited for, but it definitely went a different route than I thought it was going to, and I really enjoyed. Again, this is another album, like many of the bottom half albums, where I haven't gone back to it all that much, but when I do, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're big Spillage Village fans, all of us. You know, I maybe not like of this album in particular, but like the guys that are on the Spillage Village: Earth Gang, Jid, Black, Jordan Bryant, Mariba,
Hollywood JB,
Hollywood, and I guess Deontay Hitchcock is now as well. I think there's some other guys on there that I'm missing, but yeah, it's again a very different sounding album. It's like you got a very gospel sound, a very earthly sound. And I think that's what they were going for, obviously, with a name like Spillage. I think it's the best album art of the year.
Yes,
I think
I agree.
album artwork is fantastic.
I agree.
They're so different, and I love them for it. I spoke very highly about this when we did our review, so again, if you want all my thoughts on that, we can go there for more in-depth stuff. But after coming, sometimes you need to get removed from an album to really find out how you feel about it. And this is one that I thought I would have higher, but then I realized it's still on there, but it's not as high as the highs. But again, another album just sounds different and is different from today, from what you hear like in rap today, But yeah, Spillage. Shout out Spillage Village. I'm ready for that Jid album at the top of the year.
Yes.
Ready for that Black album.
Yeah.
Earth Gang just put out a song with Wale that I didn't listen to yet.
I did.
Good?
So,
Okay, so I have to listen to it then because I can't take Bailey's opinion for a fact. I'm just kidding. I like to mess with Bailey. Bailey, what's your number 7?
From Kingdom of God, Conway the Machine.
Machine, bitch.
Yeah, Conway is...
Real quick, before you go, did you hear the story that Conway did a rap battle against some other guy before he was famous, and he embarrassed the other guy so much that the other guy like committed suicide?
What?
Yeah, so Conway made.
I thought you were going to say he ends up killing the guy, but
no, Conway made some guy commit suicide because he killed him in a rap battle.
They call him the Machine for no reason. I mean,
So
he's
there
good
you
at what he
go.
does.
That's crazy.
Is that murder?
No.
Assisted
Assisted
homicide.
suicide?
Yeah,
No.
He got Diamond Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's... Yo!
That's fucking wild.
That's fucking wild.
That's
I'm telling you, dog.
wild.
Episode of the year right here.
Alright, track length, perfect. 14 songs, not even 50 minutes. The album cover is really cool. Even the deluxe looks better, to be honest. Did you see the deluxe cover?
Mm-hmm.
That shit's sick.
They lied to me. I thought Drake was supposed to be on the deluxe.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get a chance to listen to the deluxe yet, but
Sorry, he wasn't.
that's all right. I'll live.
It's what you get from the Griselda guys. He made me like Dej Loaf on a song. So, like, I mean, this guy is insane. Did you not like it? Her verse? This is on your list. I know it is. So that's why I was like, I didn't want to say too much. I won't say too much because me and Brian can elaborate more on it. But this is just what you want to hear from Griselda guys, and Conway delivers.
Mm-hmm. Number 6.
Heaven or Hell by Don
Damn,
Hell.
got it on 6. Okay.
Yep.
I knew it'd be lower half for Jordan, but I didn't know where.
I knew it was going to be on here.
Oh, I knew it. Yeah.
I think I had this when we first did this.
You
at
did.
number
You
2.
You both had it very high.
No, I didn't. I didn't have it on my list.
Did I have it on mine?
I think I'm pretty sure I had it too.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
remember
it was just
exactly,
Jordan.
but it was either 2 or 3 for me. This album's sick. I mean, Bailey's right. I mean, this album doesn't have a single skip. I think there's a lot of unique sounds.
It's a good
on it.
length too. It's not too lengthy. It's just 13 songs.
Yep.
It's perfect.
And it's got that like Travis Scott influence with like beat selection and kind of sound, but it's also him kind of doing his own thing with the beats and stuff. I mean, again, I think
his voice is great too.
Again, and not only that, but I think features again. You have Trav on Euphoria. You have
Man, Sheck.
Sheck West on
I
Spaceship.
love that
That's
song.
my favorite song on the album. Nobody can breathe. That I think just helps him because it just builds up the album more. It gets you hype, because you have the Travis Scott second song. Travis Scott is on the second song, and then that just helps build into the rest of the album. It's sick. I can't wait to see what he does. What you were saying about, like Protege or whatever like that, I'm curious to see if they will do more stuff together or if they'll kind of split, maybe try and do things like differently. I'm curious to see where they'll go from here.
I think since I didn't say much about Heaven or Hell, and you guys both have it, it's like out. It's out in the wild now. I think too.
I have to use the restroom.
Go ahead. I think too that while having Don be it's still recording, right?
Yeah.
I knew he was going to do that.
Yeah,
he started smiling as soon as he turned around.
Yeah, right. I know.
But he is Travis's protege, yes. But he also, and you and I have said it numerous times, is he makes very unique to him sounding music where you can't say if it's R&B, you can't say if it's hip hop, but you can't really say
because
if
he's
it's,
also kind of singing too at the same time.
He's got like that auto tune sound like Travis, but it's all of his songs sound very unique to him, which I really like about that album. It's very. This is a Don Toliver album. It's not like the beats and the sounds aren't.
It's not like we complained about with Kid Cudi's album, where it's a Kid Cudi album, but it sounds like Travis Scott.
Very much
where
so.
this is a.
Well, yes.
Yeah. For
this argument, it works. Because some would argue, well, is it Cudi's sound or is it Travis's sound? I know what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
Because if you heard of our discussion last week, last week about the Cudi album, we were kind of connecting the dots about how we were saying, oh, I could just hear Travis on this.
Yeah. Excuse me.
But yeah, I'm very interested to hear his next album.
Oh, me too.
Because I would love to hear him do like some darker R&B shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he can do the party music. Not that all of this is party music, but most of that music's gonna go up at a party.
Yes.
So hearing him do some like darker shit would be really cool for me personally. I would like to see him do some
I
of that
agree.
stuff.
I'd like, even if it doesn't.
But see, I want every artist to do that.
Even if it doesn't sound great, I'd like to see him just try it. What's the worst that happens? It doesn't sound that great.
Because Travis has done some of that dark shit too. So I mean, I don't see why he couldn't experiment with it. I think that could be his next album. I think he could really be experimental if he wanted to.
Absolutely.
And he's starting to get out there. Like he's starting to get known. I mean, Lemonade was huge.
Yes.
And
Lemonade is great.
And No Idea was that blew up because of TikTok.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I love that song.
Yeah.
I know it's a TikTok song. That song is fucking
it's
lit.
amazing. It's amazing.
Uzi just confirmed 2 projects, by the way. Love is Rage 3 and Forever Young. It's just for that.
Love is Rage 3, you say?
Yeah.
I might be interested in that. You done? You got number 6?
Yep.
My number 6, From King to a God, Conway the Machine. I'm in the same boat with Bailey on this one, man. This one, of the Griselda projects this year, wasn't as top to bottom for me as some of the other ones, but the songs I like on this album, I love. And you're saying about Dej Loaf, I wish he would have just cut her part off.
Really? I didn't
The rest of that
part.
song I love. Like, I love the intro track. I love the second song, which is Fear of God, I think it is. I love the song with Freddie Gibbs. Seen Everything But Jesus. That shit is so hard, bro. What else do I really like on this album?
Wait, is that am I thinking of a different... it might be a different Freddie... No, that's a different Freddie Gibbs feature. Never mind.
I'm trying to think what else. The, obviously the production, I mean, come on. Like,
it's always good.
I don't have the track list in front of me, but there's one that's like, it's like the third or fourth song on it. It's like 2 parts. Yes, thank you. It is, well, obviously Lemon with Method Man's crazy. Doe and Damani, I love that song because it flips. It sounds like more commercial and more, you had more commercial sounding at the beginning, and then it switches at the end to that more harder Griselda sound, but both of it's connected by a piano.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really cool. The one with Armani Caesar is cool. That's more of a mainstream sounding one. Spurs 3, of course, the Griselda cut. Jesus Crisis was really good. Nothing Less, I think, is the one with DJ Premier. Like, dog, that album's just different. I don't have to say anything else.
Yeah.
The Machine, bitch.
So 6, right?
No, 5.
No, Bailey's 6.
Oh yes.
RTJ4, Run the Jewels.
I actually thought that would be a little bit higher on yours.
Yeah, I loved this album at the beginning of the year. I still love this album.
I was actually just listening to that album like last night.
I don't know where it ranks in the Run the Jewels albums. I forget if we talked about this, but it's really good. It's exactly what like an RTJ album should sound like. And it's funny
in 2020.
Yeah,
too, you know what I mean.
And it's funny because I was talking to Jordan about this. I was thinking about how RTJ is like perfect for cyberpunk. Like the sound of the music. LP actually has a song in the game.
They have a song in the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just saved it on my Spotify.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was really cool. I just brought that up. 11 tracks, not even 40 minutes.
They always have the perfect length pause for an album.
Yeah.
And before you continue, I was just thinking about this last night. They are the perfect example of older guys connecting with the newer. the newer generation, and their beats are just ridiculous.
Like honestly, like Yanking the Brave is a crazy ass intro, bro.
It is.
And like that's how
I like Ooh La La too.
Yeah. And it's just like it's how
What's the song with
The
2
Chainz
Chainz
one?
Out of Sight.
Yeah.
It's just like Yanking the Brave is just like how a RTJ album should start. Like
I know it's
like
it's in your face.
Yeah.
It's fuck you. It's probably my second favorite Run the Jewels.
It's what Killer Mike even he says it. He said,
my man's first bar on the whole fucking album is Back at It Like a Crack Addict. He's like, bruh.
It's like I said, it was 11 tracks. Every song is good. Like
the one Walking in the Snow too.
Oh yeah, Walking in the
Just
Snow is
got
my
done
favorite.
walking in the snow.
Is my
Got
favorite
that
track on the
cold.
album. Yeah,
Jordan related to that.
That's crazy.
That's him every day.
Hold on.
My people.
My people walking.
He says it. Let me try to find it here real quick. It's at the very end. He said, we don't mean no harm, but we truly mean all the disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just like it's
like
just,
we don't mean to harm you, but we don't mean to disrespect you, but we do mean to disrespect you.
Every song's good. I didn't know how 2 Chainz was going to do a track with them. Did great.
That's that Atlantic connection.
Yeah,
and the Killer Mike.
It really
Ooh
is.
La La sounds weird at first, but that song is so good.
And Kalama Fuck or whatever.
Yeah.
That shit's insane.
Holy Kalama Fuck.
I don't know how you say it, but
yeah,
that shit's crazy. That shit goes crazy in the Ultima. That shit goes nuts.
It's RTJ. I know people want to like try to say that LP shouldn't be in it. It should just be Killer
Dude,
Mike.
I don't know why people,
LP does his shit.
insane.
Yeah, LP does great.
Fuck off. Run the Jewels 2 is my favorite Run the Jewels, by the way.
Is it? Yeah, this album's great, man. I mean, again, it's not too long. It's a good runtime. Every song hits. Like I think there's not a song that necessarily doesn't go in a rotation.
And again, it's unique sounding
and
compared to everything else that's out.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's like they have a very distinct sound. Like you could like when you can hear a beat and like that's an RTJ beat. Great album, great project, great duo. I think people need to start talking about them being like one of the greatest hip hop duos.
I just thought I looked like an idiot. Like,
yeah, they need to start to be considered as one of the two of the greatest hip hop duos or groups, whatever you want. Like
especially modern.
Oh yeah.
Like even today, like it's.
I mean, they have to be are they the best duo of the 2010s?
Well, it's hard because their first project wasn't until
2013.
It was 2013. The first one, Jules. Yeah, you could put it up there. I would argue like Earth Gang probably. I mean, they're not there yet, but they will be.
And Killer Mike already had a pedigree before that.
Well, same with LP. I mean, he produced a lot of shit. So, Jordan, top 5.
We're cracking into the top 5.
What's interesting is I can kind of predict.
Oh, wait, real quick. I'm looking at that. It's Royal Blood is a I'm pretty sure it's just my friend put me on Royal Blood. It's like a rock group, or not group, but it's a guy. Yeah. He told me because he went to a concert, and I'm pretty sure if this is the right group. Let me look it up so I don't look dumb or dumber than usual. Yeah, it's 2 guys. But he was saying about how the guy came out on stage and pretty much just did all the instruments himself. So yeah, it was.
It's like me on the court.
Shut up.
Like LeBron, play all 5 positions.
Anyway,
Jordan, number 5.
Okay. Number 5, Dark Lane demo tapes by Drake.
That's a good spot for it.
I was curious to see if we're gonna include this album.
I did
because it's all new stuff.
and I didn't. It wouldn't go any higher than me for me because, it still is a bunch of.
So you have a 5 as well. You just said it's a perfect spot for it.
I refrain from comment.
So you have a 5 as well. So you guys might as well talk about it right now.
Well, he might have it higher.
No, he definitely has a 5.
How about you just shut the fuck up, let Jordan talk, and then I'll just say my number 5. Go ahead, Jordan.
I like that little smirk there. So this is a weird album because obviously it's Drake. Love Drake. I wouldn't. Yeah, I know.
Whoa.
It's still, even though it's being a bunch of Lucy's, right? It still has that Drake just. It hits home. You know what I mean? It's got that R&B at the beginning with the deep pockets and When to Say When, and then Chicago Freestyle, and then it hits it. Not You Too.
That's kind of a bag.
It's a bag.
It's a bag.
It is. And then you get into the middle of the album where it's kind of like rap Drake. You got Desires, and then you have D4L.
I'd say Desires is probably a little more R&B.
Yeah, for sure.
Where you say I would say Deep Pockets, When to Say When, and even Chicago Freestyle, I'd say is a little more rap Drake because he's rapping. What's the one I'm talking about? Chicago Freestyle, yeah, I'd fit in a little bit more. But anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
But it's not. It's fine. I mean, you have it somewhere, so it's okay you say your piece about it now. But then you get like to the middle where you get to like, he's got D4L, which the song's not all that great, but it hits. It hits. And then you get into like the end where he's doing his UK
I
thing.
made Future sound like a bird on that song.
Right. You get into the end, and then two of my favorite songs that came out from him they came out. Of course, it came out from him. It was on this fucking album. But like he produced, like, was Drake's name in it is Demons and War. War is sick. Love War. Love that UK.
War is my top Spotify song.
Was it?
This year, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that song's sick. I mean,
Insane.
he can do multiple styles. I mean, we've said that before, but you can see it on this album. You have 3 different styles: R&B, rap, and UK.
He's the hip hop chameleon.
Yeah, he really is. That's a good way of putting it. Really good way of putting it.
That's a very good analogy. Good job, BG.
Now go fuck yourself. Keep going.
I got you.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. I don't know what to say. I mean, we talked about it earlier in the year. I mean, it's Drake. Of course, it's gonna be on there.
My number 5. Let me double check. Limbo, Amine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is a very good album. Jordan said the Jack Harlow comparison, and I wanted to say something about it, but I will say it now because I agree. It's one of those albums that just popped out of nowhere, and not out of nowhere, but like it's one of these albums where it's like, okay, a debut project from a guy I kind of heard about that a lot of people really like, but like there's nothing. 1.5 was good. There's definitely songs on there I really enjoy, but as a full project, I wasn't feeling.
Yes.
This I love the whole top to bottom. I mean,
The song with Vince Staples go crazy.
And Slow Tie on there too. I mean, like the one with Injury Reserve. I know the one guy passed, so rest in peace to him. But that's a really good song. Just the first song, Burden, like that beat. I mean, like the one with Jid, like.
Yeah, that's
He's paying that tribute
and like Jordan said about Jack Harlow, and it's perfect. They both have that diversity. They can do, Amine can do a song like Riri.
Yeah.
And Jack Harlow can do a song like the one with Chris Brown. I can't think of the name of it. I think it's Best Friends.
Mm-hmm. I think that.
But it's more. It has pop elements. It's more sing-songy. They can do that, and I think that's kind of the thing you're going to see in the next big artists in the next few years in rap. Is you're going to have the diversity of
which
it,
is going to be great.
which is what we say a lot about Drake, and even Cole and Kendrick get into that bag occasionally, but they don't do it as well as Drake.
Yeah.
But you're seeing these newer artists really doing a lot of different lanes. I mean, even guys like I don't listen to A Boogie much, but like that's this type of sound that's going to be the poppin' sound.
Yeah.
And this is, if you guys remember, I wasn't super high on this album off jump. I liked it, but I didn't see the appeal. And this is a perfect example of sitting and marinating with an album.
Yep.
And really, listening to it a couple times, and then just like, yeah, I really like this whole entire album.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. I'm happy where I thought I was gonna have it a tad higher, but I don't, and I have it right in a nice spot. Because I think once you hit the top 5, this gets down into this brass tacks. This is your albums of the year. So, shout out to Amine. Limbo's fantastic. The deluxe is good as well.
Yes.
Once we're allowed to go see concerts again, I would love to go see him.
Absolutely.
I think he's a very good artist.
So who would be good with going to see him though? Who do you think?
Jack Harlow.
That'd be a sick concert.
Why not?
That'd be a sick concert.
I
could see them doing a song together.
Two kind of not so poppin' like one of the joke, but like Harlow's from Louisville and Amine is from Portland, so it's not like it's two hotbeds of hip hop or anything. I think there's a lot of similarities there. I think it's actually a really good comparison. I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking the same thing. We even said that when the Harlow album first came out. You said, well, maybe it'll be like the Amine album for you, and I'm like, that's a good point. So, Bailey, what cracks your top 5?
I might switch it around right now. I'm going to do it.
Oh, we called an audible.
Yeah, I called an audible. It's going to be Alfredo by Freddie Gibbs.
Number 5.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you don't have that higher. I mean, I know you can't get, at this point...
It's hard to get higher.
Much higher.
Yeah. Freddie Gibbs, what an artist. What a guy.
What a man.
Yeah, what a guy. Did you guys see he got banned on Instagram today?
Did he?
Yeah, he got banned on Instagram today. Again... From top to bottom, I like every song on this album. 35-minute runtime, 10 songs. There's not, it's just good ass shit. Mm-hmm. Bro, it's just good ass shit. It's the definition of Alfredo. Just some
I'm not a big Alfredo fan, but the food.
You're not.
The food.
Nah, dude, that butter sauce on Alfredo, oh, fuck no. That'll send me right to that would be a good ass shit in the toilet.
Anyway, I fuck with Alfredo, the food and the album.
No, I wish I did.
I have the shirt.
It tastes good, but the problem is it's going to be sending me right over there in the next 5 minutes.
Well, wings do the same thing, but
not in 5 minutes, maybe about an hour.
Runtime.
The features on this album are good, like, and everything fits. Like, Rick Ross and Scotty Beam is great. He got every member of Griselda, but
the three.
Yeah, but I was gonna say he doesn't have what's his name,
Boldy or Amani Caesar.
Well, I wasn't talking about them. He doesn't have the West Side Gun. It's just Benny and Conway on 2 separate tracks. And even like he did well on a song with Tyler the Creator, which is something you just did not like. That's one of the most one of the most surprising features, in my opinion, of 2020 is the fact that Tyler the Creator was on the same song as Freddie Gibbs, and I think. I'll talk about this album later, I'm pretty sure. But Tyler the Creator has another feature on this on an album that you just would not expect to hear him on, and does a great job. Which really kind of shows his diversity, which will be interesting to see his next project to see how that goes. Yeah, to see how that goes.
I like how you said "see how that goes."
Yeah. But this is about Freddie Gibbs, great artist, great album, not too long. Freddie kills his shit, and it's just more of the kind of like, I'm not gonna say Griselda formula, but along like the same lines. Mm-hmm. The beats are great. Alchemist is obviously a great producer, which obviously helps Freddie Gibbs in that case. And Freddie, I mean, we need to start talking about how he's probably one of the most consistent artists.
That's why I'm so glad he got nominated for a Grammy, because he actually deserves it.
Yeah.
Him and Royce.
Yeah.
I didn't have it on my list. I mean, it's definitely a good project, but it's one that didn't... With these types of projects, there's going to be ones that just hit for you differently than other. You know what I mean? Like, with that sound, right, it does sound similar, but it's certain... So, like, that one, an example of this, Alfredo hit with Bailey more than hit with me. But we both like that same sound. We both agree it's good, but he just likes it more. You know what I mean? That's just what it comes down to. I know that was a stupid analysis.
No, but it makes sense because music's very, to the ear. That sounds weird to say, but like,
the whole thing might have sat with him more where I sat with more of like 1 or 2 or 3 songs.
Right. Just because it rings with me doesn't mean it's going to ring with you. Right. So
there's like a funny ass line on this album. I forget what song.
A lot of funny ass lines on those albums.
But he says something about pretty much how he thanks God for getting him to cook crack so he could rap, essentially, which is just, it's so funny. I forget exactly what the lyric is, but it essentially is he thanks God for getting him to cook crack so that he could become sad, so he had something to rap about.
Hey.
It's just fucking hilarious.
It's probably on that song.
What?
Something to rap about.
I don't know if it is on the song with Tyler. It might be.
I don't know. I was just guessing because you said something to rap about. And that's
I'm going to look up the lyrics to find out now.
Go ahead. While you do that.
I was going to say, we're number 4. So I actually made a live audible here as well before you even switched. I switched my 4 and 6 here on the spot. My number 4 is "While the World Was Burning" by St. John.
Wow. I did not expect that.
Holy shit. I thought it was going to be like lower half, at least.
No. I don't know if it suffered from a little bit of recency bias when I made the album, but I can honestly say that I have listened to at least 1 to 2 songs on this album every single day.
It's really good.
I was blown away by it. I actually jumped on... I even said about it when we went over it. I jumped on this album late. These 2, I think, had listened to it. Well, I don't know if you listened to it.
I listened to it and I put it in the chat for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I listened to it.
No, I know. But did you listen to it when he said about it, or did you...
Oh, no, you guys listened to it before me.
Well, he had put in for us to listen to it, and I didn't listen to it right away, because I think we were waiting for something else to come out, maybe, or I don't know. But I didn't listen to it right away.
And what else came out that night?
I don't
Something
know.
else did come out that night, but I
don't
remember
know
it not
what
being
it was.
as good as
and I didn't listen to it. And it took me a couple days to get to it. And then when I finally did listen to it, I remember listening to it through the first time, and I was like, holy shit, this is really good. And then ever since that night I listened to it for the first time, it's just been repeat all the time. I don't think there's a single skip. I think this is a perfect album of features. Just build this album. You have DaBaby, you have Uzi, you have Kanye, you have Future, you have
huge names.
You have Black, Kehlani,
Jid.
Jid. Thank you on Quarantine Wifey. It's
that dude. Quarantine Wifey is fucking hysterical.
It's fucking
fire. At the beginning of the fucking song,
fire.
he's like, horror.
That's Black Youngster.
Yeah.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I
Black
didn't know
Youngster is fucking funny, bro.
Yeah, but it's just a perfect. It's not even his first
I'll find the
album.
video and show you after.
It's just a great album. He's doing again, like a diversity. We continue. That seems to be the theme of these new artists that are coming up. But that's just what he does. He has some R&B like slow, but then he has some like fast R&B too, and then he has a little bit of rapping in there. It's
very diverse.
Yeah, and just the beat selection is really good. Does he make his own?
I don't know. No.
I don't think so. We do know he writes, like, his pen is really good, because he wrote for Beyonce, so, like,
yes.
He don't get much better than that.
Yeah, and you know, it takes a special person to be able to write for somebody like Beyonce, so.
This is the Black Youngster meme.
Oh.
There's also this one.
That shit's hilarious. Horror compilation.
Yeah.
That sounds like you're on a different site. But it's much like Don Toliver.
Yeah,
in the sense
it
of
is.
like you can't really put a word on what that sounds like.
And this is one of the
sounds
albums
like
of all the
drugs.
albums that I have on my list. I think this is the one that I'd want people to listen to the most, because I think this has some of the most unique beat selections and features and like verses this year for me personally. I think it's a phenomenal album. But not higher than 4 for me, obviously.
No, but 4 is very good praise for a guy who not many people probably still know about. Or
I mean, he only had, like 1 or 2 other albums?
So he put music out in, like, 2016, 2017, but, like, the upswing is now, and I want to hear, like, a fully, like, money-backed, like, project, like, album from him. I think it'd be really good. You said about how you really want people to listen to that album. I want a lot of people to listen to my number 4.
Oh, okay.
Dark Lane Demo Tapes by Drake. No, but it's not number 5. It's my number 4, bitch. I mean, I don't have to say much.
Come on,
I do, however, have a take that I haven't said to these guys. This is a better More Life.
Ooh.
In the sense that it
just a little
gives you the variety of sounds.
Okay.
But I think it does it better. I think the songs on here are better than More Life. I like this better than More Life as a project. I'm done comparing it to More Life, but that is a take that I've come down to. This is a very good Drake project. It's not a good Drake. It's not a good. I'm not gonna say it's not a good Drake album, but you know what I mean. Like,
well, it's because it's really not an album.
Yeah, I mean it is, but it isn't.
I gotta go listen to More Life now, and I gotta get back to you on that because
let me know, because I think More Life is. While I love More Life, I think it's bloated.
Yeah,
it's very long, and I think this is a good length. I think it has everything you need from Drake. I think that's what I like about the project the most. And I said about More Life back then was like, I said it's like a smorgasbord of Drake. You can go in, you can get some Chinese food, you can get a hot dog, you can get some Spanish rice. You can get anything. This is the same way, but a little more focused. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yes. A little more in his element. I feel like too. Like
I don't think you're stepping out of the ballpark as much.
Like War and Demons. While yes, they are like more UK and New York drill sounding, I still think Drake is more at home on those beats than he is on some of the Jamaican stuff on More Life. If that makes sense. Yeah. And then you don't really have like the dance hall stuff on here, which I think is fine.
The only dance hall song that you have is like Tootsie Slap, but it's not even really like a.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's dance hall. It's more like
TikTok.
Yeah, but that's more Toronto sounding.
Oh yeah,
sure.
100%.
It's more
of the like TikTok songs. This is of the lowest, I think.
Yeah, it's more in line with what Drake makes. I think that sound. It's more in line to his own sound than it is to a different sound. But I mean, I don't have much else to say. You play it every day. Like Jordan said, War is one of my favorite. Was my top Spotify song this year. Desires I love. Not You Too I love. Like
Time Flies.
It's just right. I'm gonna love a Drake project. Right,
we could sit here. We could talk about it for hours.
And
but
you could say it got the home team bump, which it probably did. But this is my list, and I think 4 is a good spot for it. Actually, a little bit higher. I initially had it at 5 because I think that was a good cutoff. Yeah. But yeah, that's my 4.
So did you switch? Would you have a 5? A Limbo?
No, I always had Limbo at 5.
You always had Limbo at 5?
Because I just personally, if I'm going by my list, like, I like Dark Lane Demo Tapes more than I like Limbo. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I just listen to it more. Yeah. So. Number 4.
Burden of Proof, Benny the Butcher.
I didn't know what you said at first. I thought you said something about a bird.
I said bird too. I'm like, Bird of Proof? What the fuck is that? Like, what the hell is that?
There's a bird of proof.
This is gonna be on your list at some point. I know that.
I got 3 albums left.
I don't know where it is, but it's gonna be on there. So I won't say too much because we can just talk about it then. I'm not confident that it's gonna be on there. Benny, personally, I think
not.
No, it is. I don't even have to ask. 12 songs Not even 40 minutes.
You know, I'm starting to learn more about Bailey.
He likes
runtime is important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
but
don't,
I mean, I
you don't
think it
like
is.
length. Pause.
I think it is. I think
It is. It's no. That's.
I think. I mean, we've talked about it before, but I think like
We talked about it last week.
14 songs is like the perfect amount. Like 12 to 14.
You gotta be special to have over that.
Yeah.
And keep
exactly.
You start to be like the Migos and give me like 26 songs.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck am I gonna do with 26
Yeah.
Migos songs?
Yeah.
Half of them are Cheeks.
Yeah. That's being generous. That's being generous.
It's really good. Like 75% of them.
Yeah.
I was gonna say some suspect shit, but I'm not gonna say it.
Okay, good.
No.
I'm not gonna say it.
Like I said, I don't want to talk about it too much because I know it's on Brian's
You
list.
gotta say it now. Everybody wants to know.
Oh god, it's like high school Cheeks still
Oh,
developing.
Unreal.
That's-
Unreal.
That's
Anyway.
wild. How do you know?
How do you even go from that? How do
Exactly.
you go from that? Try and bring that one back.
Every song in this album I have in a playlist. Benny the Butcher, my personal opinion, is my favorite out of the three Griselda guys. This is by far the most mainstreaming sounding album from him and from Griselda as a whole. And he does it really well. This is going to sound weird at first. Sometimes I get Rick Ross vibes in the terms of hood lyrics, but it's still, well, obviously it's more hood than
It
Rick
sounds
Ross.
luxurious
But it
as
sounds
fuck.
luxurious.
Is that
Yeah.
the one you had me listen to?
Yeah.
That was the most recent one.
The
The
most
one I thought
recent,
you would like more.
Yeah, that,
And,
that was the one I mean, I haven't listened to it, but that was the one I remember talking about that I actually did like the sound of it.
The other funny line from Freddie Gibbs is on this album. What I was thinking of was
yeah.
when he said, "You go cry in that
Toyota or this
so you go
Maybach?"
bang- Yeah, you go cry in this
I
Toyota
thought
or
you threw your
this
phone again. It
Maybach."
was just your foot.
Which is hilarious, and Freddie Gibbs is just kind of funny.
He's funny looking too.
Yo, chill.
Bald as fuck. I know, probably like.
If he finds his podcast, he'll be on that ass.
That's my guy.
Nah, but
He's
Benny
not gonna
Bush-
be on his ass because I know where it is on his list. So
but this isn't Freddie's album.
No, he's talking about.
It's
he's talking
Benny's.
about Benny's. I know.
Yeah,
No,
but
but he's saying Freddie.
Freddie said the one you're gonna cry in that Toyota.
Oh, Freddie's
or
gonna be on
Maybach.
Brian.
Freddie ain't on
Oh,
my
I'm
list.
sorry.
He's on the honorable mentions though.
Yeah.
That's gotta count for something.
Yeah. Anyway, really good album. We'll elaborate more in probably the next album on Brian's list.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I know what your last three are. I just
I
don't
can
know
make a
where they're
live
at.
audible. You never know.
All right.
What put on
A wild Pokemon appeared.
Right.
Now shiny. If you're
you get a
asking Caleb.
fucking shiny.
Yeah, no, you ain't get no shiny.
Um,
I mean, I tried
Three.
to catch like 3,000 different Pokemon. He hasn't caught a shiny yet. Shout out, Caleb. Sorry.
that's all right. I understand the struggles.
You still haven't named this Ariana Grande album.
3 is Spilligion.
Holy shit! It's number 2 for him.
This
3
is number 1.
is.
Could you imagine? I wouldn't put it by Jordan either.
Listen, you don't know what's
I'm
happening.
surprised you have.
thrown it.
No, I'm actually low key. All jokes aside, I'm surprised you have it that high.
The only reason he could
What?
Spilligion.
Really?
Yeah.
I was
Why?
gonna say the only way he could dethrone fucking The Weeknd is with some pussy. So
No, I'm going to refrain from saying anything else in this podcast. I wanted to, but I'm not going to.
So Spilligion. This album really. I don't even know how to say it. Like it just resonated with me. Like that doesn't make sense, right? Because I had no idea about what these guys went through, right? But,
Talking
like,
about Africa and
yeah,
shit.
I know, but like I meant like I
George,
walking around in that.
Obviously-
Walking around the back of his house.
Obviously, I'm not walking through Africa. That's not what I meant.
No, that's in the back of your house. You possibly try to mow the lawn. Jordan, can you help me? Like,
George's just on a giant
trees.
George's on a giant ass bird.
Oh, that's unreal. That's
So
not what I
yelling,
meant.
spread love all around the world.
Jordan's just
Well,
rolling down the
I
driveway.
have my own little fucking like planet up there on my hill. So
That's where they recorded it. Up on Jordan's fucking hill.
yeah.
They said it was South Africa, but it's really just fucking Jordan's
that's
hill.
not
They
what
just see a ferret walking around.
What a fucking man. Like, let me fucking talk. So, like, I meant.
That's one of the funniest parts of this podcast.
You just hear random gunshots going off in the album. It's his dad shooting the ferrets.
Oh no, he's probably shooting fucking groundhogs. You're not shooting ferrets.
I don't know.
Holy
Something.
shit. Oh my god.
Let me fucking talk about what I meant. I meant
God
by
damn,
like
that's
I
funny.
meant that I understand where they like their heritage and stuff. Like them talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
like I understand where they were like coming from, and it was cool to see what they meant and like what this album meant because with like the African heritage and like you know the trip to Mecca and all that stuff on the album and stuff. It's very religious, which we talked about when we talked about the album. But this album just
funny.
like really hit with me. Like the sounds, the beats, the lyrics about it, like just everything. Really resonated with me, you know, like because like I'm, you know,
The sounds of the album are just Jordan's backyard.
Yeah, apparently. And if you come at my house,
a tree being fucking cut
down, you have fucking my dad cursing because he broke the chainsaw. Like, it all just fits into the album.
That shit's amazing.
We're just gonna ignore
my man could be done for the rest of the podcast
now. This whole podcast is gonna be done. It's gonna be Jordan's backyard. That's gonna be the name of the fucking podcast.
Nah, it's gonna be award season.
Yeah.
In quotations, Jordan's backyard.
Yeah, in parentheses. No, but like honestly, like I love. We talked about we're all Spillage Village fans. Jid, Earth Gang, Black. Mariba, they all did their thing.
And Mariba cut that shit up
on the song. Oh my lord,
that shit's wild.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Shut up.
What was that?
I don't know.
Mariba.
It's like he's doing fucking tequila.
Mariba. Start it again, yo.
Alright.
Shout out Spillage Village.
Yeah, it honestly, it's. I want to hear another album from them.
Mariba's bad.
And see what, like, not that I didn't like the religious part, because I love that actually, but I want to see. Will you shut up?
Bailey's definitely into black chicks, yo.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know.
The more I get to know Bailey,
Hey,
you're not.
Listen, it takes all to make the world go round. So whatever he's into,
yeah, hey man, go to that beat.
More power to him. His is
oh my god,
black chicks, and mine is girls with tattoos. Apparently, so
not apparently. You admitted it.
I did. So that's beside
skinny bitch, no shoulders too.
That's stop. You also stop.
No, that's not what I was talking about. I'm not gonna say it was me. No.
We know your type.
If you know, you know.
One, same five.
So like,
I have 6.
Okay.
So like, listeners know. So
your friends are gonna text you now.
Don give a single fuck.
Am I one of the 6?
I'm a fucking open book.
Of course, I had to be 6. This guy. All right, continue. Sorry, Jordan.
No, I don't have anything else to say because they were just fucking.
Sorry for.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I genuinely apologize to George for totally interrupting him. That shit was hilarious.
Listen, that builds on the episode. It's all fun and games. So.
All right, my number 3.
But I mean, I didn't mean to do it again, but we already talked about the album, so I mean.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
My number 3, Pray for Paris, West Side Gun.
Wow, you like Burden of Proof more.
I don't know, do I?
Yeah, you do, because it's on there.
But yeah, this was at my halfway, during the halfway episode, this was my number 1.
It was our
and I
number
thought
1.
it was going to be number 1 for a while. What?
It was our number 1.
What
he also had a number 1.
Okay, I got you. This is a fantastic project. And I cannot believe he didn't get nominated for a Grammy for it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Everything West Side Gun does is like insane. Like, he always puts a wrestling reference in that I usually don't get because I'm not a wrestling fan, but like his attention to detail he's more so a
he's an artist.
He's more so he's an artist, but he's more so taking like a DJ Khaled type role. This is gonna sound like weird, but like the way he puts together artists and he puts an album together.
It's an interesting analogy because
is more because like DJ Khaled doesn't get the credit he deserves. I know he's a giant meme, and does he deserve it? Absolutely. I think he's funny as fuck.
Yeah,
he's just a fat Drake.
But
DJ Khaled knows how to put people you wouldn't expect to go together on a track together, and it sounds good.
That's an interesting analogy.
And West Side Gun, like Bailey was referring to, it was him, Tyler, and him, Tyler, and Joey on a song, and he had Wale on a song, which you really wouldn't think you'd hear Wale on a song with a guy like West Side Gun, but it sounds really good, and just he's more focused now, and I think he said like he's retiring after. Well, he retired after Who Made the Sunshine, which was his last album release. He released like 3 projects this year, or maybe 4.
They definitely. I mean, I don't even really.
He actually like retired.
Well, he said he's more so taking the back seat role now and like doing the executive shit, and you know.
We'll still hear verses. Probably.
Sure, of course, but he's more so pushing the label forward. Like he wanted to be the top guy at Def Jam because that's what he believes he can do. He wants to do that type of shit. He's
got the vision.
Yes, exactly. Because he's in charge of their merch and everything, and like I don't know if you know much about their merch, but that shit sells out instantly. Like people love it. Like it's very artistic, and like himself is in like kind of like Max.
Just look at the album cover.
He got didn't Virgil do the cover?
No, I think the cover is a real painting.
It might be.
The cover is a real painting. I don't know
but
what
I
painting
think
it is.
Look up. Can you look that up for me?
What the cover?
Look to see if Virgil did the cover because I think he did. And everybody clowned Virgil, including us on this podcast.
I remember. What did I say? What was our album title? The one of our episodes titles.
It was
something about a Virgil. I
a
made
tenth of a Virgil.
Tenth of a Virgil. Yeah.
That was funny. I said if you didn't fuck with it, you're worth like 10th of a Virgil.
No,
or
that
some
was
shit.
no. I thought I said because
Jordan
people.
said it.
Yeah, I couldn't say it
Oh, yeah.
because he donated $50 whatever, and I said some people can't even fucking donate $5 and they're making fun of him. So
Oh yeah, we said 10th of Virgil.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't. It's very hard to say like what exactly about this album does it for me, except for the fact that it all just sounds so unique and different. And like we've been talking about this whole podcast, like the just unique sounds and different sounds, and it's been a theme for as I was putting my list together. A lot of artists on here.
Yeah, it was by Virgil.
Yes, yeah, that's a very good cover too.
Yeah, the painting is Caravaggio's David with the head of Goliath.
And that right there shows you that like. That actually might be the best album cover of the year, actually.
Oh yeah,
you know which one it is?
That's the one where like
With
the
holding the
man-
head,
holding the head,
yeah.
it's David
flames.
holding Goliath's head.
Yeah. So, but like West Side Gun and Jordan hit it right, or somebody who said the Vision. Did I say the Vision?
Bad as a Vision.
Yeah, the Vision of West Side Gun is
yeah.
impeccable. I mean, obviously he raps and he does well, but I think he knows how to get the best out of everybody else. Mm-hmm. And he'll do a song like Eurostep on the album where it's just him for a minute and a half just spitting. But then he'll have a song where like. I think it's 500 Ounces, where he's kind
with
of
Rockmark,
and Freddie Gibbs, and the one with Boldy James, where he has a little bit, but he lets whoever else is on it shine.
I was gonna say like another thing is like if you could instantly tell there's something different in West Side Gun's head as soon as like you find out that his mixtape series involves Hitler's name.
Oh yeah, Hitler wears Hermes is what it's called, which people are still offended by. It's like fuck you.
Yeah,
it's a fucking mixtape.
Yeah,
shut the fuck up.
No.
Not you.
I know.
Bitches. Fucking snowflakes like Jordan. Not like Jordan's not a snowflake, he just looks like a snowflake.
Yeah.
He is the aesthetic of a snowflake.
Walking in the snow or some shit like that. That's what Ronnie Bill said.
Bailey, you're number 3.
Circles.
Okay. I knew you were gonna have, I forgot you haven't named that yet.
No, yeah.
We're all gonna have the same number 1.
I believe.
I think so.
It's Max. What?
Continue.
Continue talking.
Okay. This album's always gonna hold a special place for me just because it was the album that like was released after Mac passed away. Now I like Swimming more personally. I agree. Like I was gonna say that earlier, but I definitely like Swimming more than this.
I think Swimming is more the sound, like the perfect mix of what Circles has, but with more rapping, which is what we gravitate towards a little bit more. But continue.
But I mean, 12 songs again, good runtime, not even 50 minutes.
You know, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I actually would have preferred maybe to just be a smidge longer.
A smidge longer?
Just a smidge.
Well, he did release a deluxe with 2 more songs.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I forget what the name. Hold on, let me look.
Yeah, I didn't mean to.
Floating and Right, which were both really good. So that would bring the runtime to 57 minutes.
Which I think is perfect.
Again, just under an hour.
Yeah, perfect.
Every song is good. Every song makes you want to cry, especially after.
Some of that shit's tough to listen to. I mean,
especially after what happened. Even the album cover for this, I think, is really cool.
Yeah.
And it definitely kind of shows, like, at the time, Mac, it's multiple Macs, essentially, like, almost semi overlapping. So you can
finally kind of coming clear, which I like, too.
Yeah. So you can see the vision there. Mac's an insane artist. If you look at just how much he's changed. Yeah. I mean, we've said it before, but it's like, you can tell just by listening. You watch Mac grow up.
Yeah.
You like his through.
He grows up through his music. Yeah.
And it's crazy to see from him going from some frat rapper to an album to releasing albums that were intertwined with heavy uses of drugs to albums like Swimming in Circles, which are like complete
jazz,
180.
like you know,
they're completely 180 from different like styles of Mac's albums. It's a great album. It will always hold a special place in my heart, even if it's not even like my favorite Mac album ever, which it isn't. But it's just going to be because of
there's a special significance to that one. And it's interesting you have it that high on the list because that type of music, the sound on Circles is much more. I would say it's more alternative. Than it is like hip hop or anything. And I'm surprised. Not that I'm not surprised it's this high on your list, but I'm surprised that sound really, really sat with you. And sometimes it just takes an artist you really like to do it. I mean, same with Ariana Grande for me. Like, you know, there's probably other artists that do, but it's her. You know, I have a weird infatuation with Ariana Grande too. But that's besides the point. But like
we know.
But like she can do different. She can make different sounds. Shut up! I'm talking. She can do like sounds I don't normally listen to, but because it's her.
I hope they saw that.
I missed it. What did I say was funny?
He just like fucking spit. He makes sounds that other people can't do.
That's not what I meant.
I know, obviously, it's not what you meant. But it's still funny.
But yeah, the point. There's the point. But you get what I'm saying. Jordan, number 2.
Well, were you done?
What was I talking about?
About circles? Yeah, I was
you
done.
done about circles?
Okay.
Okay. I mean, we know what it is.
What's
Number 2?
We're just talking about her.
Oh, shit. I was totally lost.
I
was
was pussy
talking
to
about
take Abel down.
Huh?
Positions.
Listen.
Positions by
I missed
Ariana
what you
Grande. This is another album with the same as the St. John album that I have listened to at least 1 or 2 of the songs every single day.
What's your favorite song on the album?
34 plus 30, 34, 35. Off the Table with The Weeknd. Safety Net with.
Okay, hold on. It's kind of funny. You went from 69 to Off the Table to Safety Net.
Yeah.
Off the Table, Safety Net.
Yeah, shut up.
I don't know. I just found
Listen,
it funny.
I get where you're going, but
The track name.
I got your 69 to Off the Table. That's kind of funny, but
Yeah.
I don't know where safety net comes in at.
After you go off the table, it's a safety net.
Hopefully something's
What are you, a
catching you.
fish?
Okay, no, ask Jordan.
How do I know? But those 3 and
Guess there's not a buying a fish. There's not buying a fish.
Nasty and
Shut up.
Nasty and Love Language are my
Man, see, that's crazy because 34 plus 35, I'm still on this train, and Love Language is one that's just generally... people generally say, like, that's their favorite songs, and I just don't... That's just not my...
You said 34 plus 35, then you said they're all on this train, and it's just kind of funny that this album...
It's just...
Yo, get your fucking mind out
The
there.
album's called Positions, and it's 2 numbers
sure,
together, 69.
sure,
We're
but-
fucking over here going, and Bailey's just fucking over. He's like...
You know what it is? It's that meme of the 3-headed dragon, and
Yeah,
almost like...
yeah.
Really.
He's in the same spot, too!
Oh, man.
But like, those aren't like I don't dislike the songs, but
Yeah.
like they're not up there for me. I
your
like the
favorite
one, Safety Net.
Safety
I
Net.
felt like
Safety
I like
Net.
the orb of confusion. I like Safety Net with Ty Dolla $ign. I like, is it West Side?
Yes, West Side.
That's
yes.
why I said it sounded like the fucking
Yes.
OVO sweat
Yep.
camp sound. My favorite shit.
But this album, I think, is...
Oh, of course, the one with Abel. And the one with Doja Cat.
I like Motive a lot, too.
Yeah, that murder beat.
Yeah.
Just name the whole album.
That's why it's number 2.
Essentially.
That's why it's number 2. But this, I think, is the perfect example. I mean, granted, it's Ariana Grande, but of features really just putting the icing on the cake of an album. It doesn't get any better.
It's the perfect feature.
It doesn't get any better, right?
Well, Doja Cat can get better, but I even like Doja Cat
But
first. But like,
I think the Doja Cat feature.
I'd rather
on-
Doja Cat than Nicki.
I agree, 100%. I think the Doja Cat feature on Motive is perfect.
Listen, Doja Cat could be racist. She's still hot. It doesn't change anything.
So wait, who's she racist towards? White people or black people? 'Cause
Yes.
she's mixed.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Pretty sure she said some suspect ass shit that angered the black community.
Ah.
I'm not gonna say anything because I might sound ignorant as fuck on here if I say
I
something.
was gonna say,
I don't know. The
I
whole
just
situation.
heard that she was racist, and I was like, wait, how?
Listen,
And towards whom?
You can just Google it.
listen.
Don't care enough.
A racist to me is it doesn't matter what you're racist to. You're
You're just racist.
exactly that doesn't matter towards if it's one color or multiple. You're just in that category.
Or all.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just
Wouldn't that just mean you hate people?
Yes.
So like you.
Yes.
Okay. So you're a racist?
Guess so.
Oh Jesus Christ!
lordy.
What else you gotta say about Ari? I mean the album.
Well, I
talk
was
about
gonna
Ari.
say I have to talk about Ari for days, but the album, it's my favorite album as well. I mean, we like the newer Sweetener and this better than the old stuff. Not that the old stuff's bad, but that sound, that little more upbeat sound.
It's more unique.
Yeah, I think it's
That's the word of the episode.
unique. Oh, absolutely.
It's not year of the word or the year of the word. The word of the year.
is
COVID.
Quarantine.
Lockdown.
I mean, I don't really.
Racism.
I really don't have too much to say because I mean we talked about it in length. I mean I love.
We've
the
talked
album.
about it throughout the over the months since it came
I was
out.
gonna say,
it's
like-
just like
It's just Ari.
you gotta go see her with me next time.
Listen, I want to go see Ari.
Let's go
I'd
do it.
love
We'll
to
do
go
You might
see
even
Ari.
run to a skinny bitch with no shoulders.
Oh my God, that's right. I
Listen-
did.
Listen, if we
I
do,
forgot
I'm
about that
fucking. I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
No, you're
Imagine
not.
she's watching.
That'd be funny.
Hello, redacted. I hope you're doing well.
Unreal.
Um,
That's wild.
Oh my
my god.
Are you good?
Yeah, I don't have anything to say else on that.
You ready for this one? Number 2. Detroit. No, I'm just kidding.
Shut the fuck up, Harrison.
Burden of Proof, Benny the Butcher. And yes, it overtook Pray for Paris for me. That album is fucking insane.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the perfect Griselda album for me, in my eyes. Like, I like the darker, like, I like the more boom bap shit, but this is, like, perfect. Because it's more mainstream, like Jordan was saying, but it still has the Griselda sound, and it's got, of course, the usual suspects. Ross is on there. Who else is on there?
Freddie.
Obviously, is Fred? Oh yeah, Freddie is on there.
Yeah, you gonna cry in his Toyota or the
yeah.
Maybach?
Listen, I'm getting.
Listen, we're all over the place.
Wheels are starting to get wobbly, you know.
We're all over the
goes.
place.
But yeah. As I was sitting there listening to him, I was like, it really just came down to the simple fact that I think I like Benny as a rapper.
Yeah, I think
more.
Benny is, like I said, I think he's the best rapper.
Dude, the song on here with Dom Kennedy is sick. I love that song. And, like, his storytelling's all of their storytelling's good, but, like, the way Benny and Conway's the same, just delivers
things,
it.
Yeah.
It sounds like it sounds like he's ready to punch me in the face. I didn't do anything to him. You know what I mean? Like, and, of course, Hit Boy, that's another big reason. The production is insane. Like, it just...
we still have to do our awards after.
Yeah, it's just a perfect storm of everything.
I think this... You know, the funny thing is, I have the least Griselda influence of the group. And when I listen to this album, right away you can hear his delivery is just not like it's in your face, but it's still got like a
He's got a charisma to it.
Yes, that's a great word of saying.
I think
it.
Freddie's the same way too. Freddie Gibbs.
He has just something about it. The way he delivers it catches your ear a little bit quicker than somebody like West Side Gun or somebody else from that group. I couldn't sit here.
Conway.
Yeah,
I think that's a good point because like I think Conway has the less charisma, but like older heads or more, you know, underground hip hop heads are gonna like him the most because
he sounds like he might shoot you the most.
Well, because he's also shot in the fucking back of the head.
Yeah.
So like, and then West Side's
really?
a little bit.
No, yeah, his like
fucking lip is like right here is like all fucked up, so he has to wrap it out the side of his mouth.
Yeah, it won't move
like,
because he can't move that. It's paralyzed.
Like he actually said in an interview, like he had to slow beats down because he couldn't rap over faster beats. I know you're not trying not to laugh, but. He would shoot me. I don't have much else to say about Benny other than the fact that, I mean, it was Griselda's year.
Do you remember when? It's funny because I think the first time I played Benny for you was before I even knew who Griselda was. I found this song. I forget it was. It was
off Tana Talk 3.
Yeah, it was 97 Hove.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to it, I was like, yeah, this song's fucking crazy. I had no clue who he was. But it was the bar where he said the beam on the SIG flashing like it got an unread email in it. And it's funny because I played that song for Brian as we were driving to see the new Star Wars movie with his sister.
Yeah. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, no fucking. Yeah, we started. That
really started it for us.
Yeah, and
we
then
started getting into the weeds and.
Yeah, and that's when you said, "Have you like?"
What it would have been the what would Machine Gun do? The Griselda actual album that they released. That was like I think when you and I really started to get into them then. But yeah, shout out Benny.
Machine Gun
shout out
still active militant.
Shout out Hit Boy,
bro. Shout out Griselda and all those guys who are still keeping that boom bap New York sound alive
and making it modern again.
Yeah,
like they wear Balenciaga and Off White and all this shit, but they're rapping like they're back in the '90s and the '80s.
Which I think is you said obviously I don't listen to it, but it's cool that they're able to and coming from an outside perspective looking at. It's cool that they're able to bring that old era into the new era and just mash it all together and still awesome. Make it sound really good.
It's those guys. It's Freddie, Boldy, Pusha. It's all those guys who we're not going to let this die.
Rock Marciano.
Yep. Rock Marciano.
Well, I think that's cool. And that's what makes music awesome. Is like you're able to keep multiple generations of music
just hip hop
going.
And rap in general. You have all these different pockets of music that sound completely different but are under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
Bailey, number 2. Gotta be Pray for Paris.
It's Pray for Paris.
Yeah. Damn, all of our number ones are the same. That's crazy.
So I didn't think I was gonna have it at number 1, but I do.
Yeah.
Who am I kidding? Of course it's number 1.
Of all the albums that came out this year, I figured
just run through it quick because
we already talked about it. Pray for Paris.
If there's anything I didn't say, hit on it.
It's a great album. Runtime's good. Track length is nice. Features are perfect for it. West Side Gun is an extremely talented artist, not just a rapper. And
it's the most colorful project.
Yeah, it is. Like it's dark as shit just from the content, but it's like
the beats and whatnot.
He just executes everything so beautifully. It's insane. truly a remarkable visionary, and it's funny because these
that
guys.
that was some elaborate shit that I just said right there.
Yeah, he did.
And it's funny
I like
because these
that.
guys shouldn't even be here right now, but they grinded in here. They
Oh
are.
yeah, of course.
So,
And they
respect.
had probably the best years of anybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they released a lot of albums this year.
A lot.
Conway had 3? Yeah, because he had the one with the shark on it.
Yeah.
He had the one with Big Limited Ghost or whatever the fuck. I
Yeah.
listened to that one. And then his solo
Yeah.
project.
And
Benny
then
had
one.
Well, he had 2. He had one with like the soprano.
Oh
thing
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
I
And
listened to
then
that. And then Westside I think had like 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy.
All right.
Bol-
And then
Boldy had 2.
That's what.
Yeah.
Like,
Armani Caesar had 1.
that's like 10 albums spanning a
it's
year.
double digits.
And it's
Crazy.
kind of crazy when you don't get tired of it either. Like
Mhm.
maybe some people do, but like
It's literally crack rock music that you can listen to like crack rock. You can just keep
Yeah.
on going.
Jordan, let's just number 1
After Hours.
After Hours.
After hours.
Who wants to start? So it is agreed.
Yeah.
The Night Shift Podcast album of the year is The Weeknd's After Hours.
It should have won a Grammy, but fuck the Grammys.
It should have been nominated for a
At
Grammy.
least nominated. Not even a
But I mean, let's be real. The Weeknd doesn't need the Grammys.
No.
That dude is on his way to cementing. I'm talking all time
Of artistry, yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
I
all
think
time.
he's already
Is
close.
he- so wait, hold
I
on.
think
Has
he's
to be
already
after
close.
this.
Is he
my God.
higher than Drake then? He has to be.
No, he's not higher than
As an artist?
And maybe I'm not having this argument tonight. Maybe not in. Maybe in more.
What are you talking like overall or like?
Because if we're
R&B?
talking about overall, right, and he's cementing himself as one of the best artists ever, that's including people like Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder and whatnot.
He will. I think he will be that kind of artist
So-
for us.
Okay. So
But see, it's weird because The Weeknd is much more a pop artist now than he used to be.
Yeah.
Oh,
and he's
God.
even more of a pop
Yeah.
artist than what Drake is now.
yeah.
So, in a sense, you're comparing a rapper to a pop artist. And yes, the pop artist is always going to be bigger to the mainstream appeal. Now, I think there's also a lot of... You also got to remember what Drake did for him. There's a lot of stuff there as well. So,
I was just curious as to see what two big Drake
he will
Weeknd
be...
fans had to say.
He will be... And this is
I
no
think they could-
disrespect to, like...
I think they could be on even footing.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. Like, and if we're talking like in history, like as when this all gets said and done, they're going to be here. One's just going to be slightly above the other, whichever way that is.
And I could see it being The Weeknd just because he'll
He's going
have
to hit
the
to a little
hits
bit
that
more.
everybody know.
Yeah.
Blinding Lights. Everybody knows that fucking song.
Hills.
Everybody.
Hills.
Hills.
Can't feel my face.
I Feel It Coming. Like all of that
Yeah.
stuff is like even Starboy. Now Drake has those too, of
Yeah,
course.
of course.
But it'd be an interesting conversation. But we could save it for another day. I think the thing with After Hours was that it somehow gave you that darker sound that we really liked and found The Weeknd on, but he kept it.
Especially on Snow Child.
He kept it poppy, but it wasn't.
That's-
It wasn't Starboy poppy. It wasn't.
It was like a happy medium.
It wasn't Kissland and Trilogy Dark. It wasn't.
It's a dark sounding album.
It wasn't as all over the place as Beauty Behind the Madness. It's super cohesive, yet it's different sounding, but yet it all plays in perfectly together. And dude, I think this is aside from Trilogy, this might be my favorite Weeknd project.
This I can
It
tell you
sounds
for
really good.
I can tell
I
you
mean-
for a fact that besides Trilogy, this is my favorite Weeknd project.
I mean, I might fight it with Kissland. That might be the only one it fights with, but like, even then, like,
Yeah, this album for me, the way
it's better than Starboy.
I saw somebody describe, I forget what they said exactly on Twitter, but they said something along the lines of, you have an airy beat choice with dark lyrics. And I'm like, that is a really good way of putting it, because like you said, Snow Child, Faith, yes, thank you, Brain, but you get what I'm trying to say.
I mean, Escape from L.A.
Yeah, like those songs, you the meaning behind those songs, but it's still over a beat that still kind of sounds like it's trying to be upbeat, but that he's
And another thing,
talking about dark stuff.
Another thing is not even an hour long, 14 songs. Again,
Zero-
it's
zero
great-
features.
Yeah, great length.
And then what the deluxe adds 3,
Yeah,
makes it
yeah,
17, I think. Yeah,
I don't. Deluxe is okay.
I mean,
I think Miss You is like the best one.
oh
but,
man, I mean,
but like Final Lullaby and even Nothing Compares. I'm like, that's
I
fine.
think Miss You could have been on there. I think that shit hits differently.
But I'm glad it wasn't because I think it's I
Yeah.
think it's perfect how it is. I think
Yeah.
the album
Hopefully,
is
we'll get to
literally
see this live.
perfect. We will.
will.
Eventually.
Yeah.
He didn't put all that money into that production for no reason.
Favorite song off the album, real quick for you guys. Mine's still Snow Child.
Dude, it changes. It's changed.
Snow
so
Child and
much.
After Hours are my favorite.
I really
songs
like
off
Snow
this.
Child. I like After Hours. Save Your Tears has grown on me so much.
Um,
I love that song. It's probably my favorite. Blinding Lights is still fantastic. Too Late, like
Faith,
Faith.
Any other tracks you missed? You want to name?
Fucking Until I Bleed Out.
Dude, that shit hits. Oh, I even said when I tweeted about that. Until I Bleed Out.
It's like the perfect ending to that album.
Fucking gold. That shit is gold.
And another thing is like what's funny about this album is like I'm obviously not the biggest Weeknd fan or know his older stuff like you guys, but it's like he even ties in a lot of his old stuff, especially with a song like "Escape from L.A." It ties it in with his older.
Because we
stuff.
said in the morning, he always said he wanted to go to L.A. That's as an artist on the rise, that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you realize this shit's not for me. This isn't all it's cracked up
Yeah,
to be.
I mean,
get
this
the fuck out
is-
of here because it's affecting it up here.
This is the Weeknd. This is probably the most grown up Weeknd album, and I say this meaning that he's like from what you're saying, like that's the Weeknd, trying to make it to his fame, to his stardom, and he realized now that all like he's mature now. He understands that all this shit is what it's cracked up to be, and he just wants to be alone almost. Like he just wants to be in a simpler place compared to a place like LA where it's just money, drugs, and women.
I think we said it was very like full circle for him.
Yes.
I think we said that when the album first came out. That was even before we started the pod. I think it was because it came out in March.
Yep.
And we would have started in the summer. So yeah, we would have been out for or we wouldn't have started the pod yet. But yeah, I think it's when you look at the Weeknd, there's always you can match eras with the album. So like the Starboy era, he had that kind of weird mohawk thing.
Yeah.
The purple, the cross. The kind of the bright colors, the Michael Jackson sounding stuff. I think this is hands down his best era. I think the music video, the fro, the red jacket, the cuts,
the broken nose,
everything. Like the music videos, everything.
And
Everything that went into it.
I want to say we talk about how West Side is a visionary. Weeknd
Damn
is
it,
this.
man.
Weeknd
Shut up for once.
Weeknd is the same
Oh,
way.
of
Like
course.
he gets an idea and he executes it to perfection.
Well, even
and that's why I want to see what his set's like. Like it's gonna be crazy.
I can tell you from seeing him on the Starboy tour, it is going to be insane. Because you guys are going to love him.
Wait, have you never seen him live?
No, I've only saw him once.
I have not seen him live.
I don't know how Jordan didn't go with me.
Did Andy see him?
Because
live
you
before?
went and saw it with
With Cam and
And
redacted.
Yeah. Redacted.
Yeah.
Redacted, right.
You can't.
Do I know the redacteds? Like not know.
You
them,
know
but
one of the
know.
you know one of the redacteds.
Okay.
It's not the redacted you're probably thinking of.
We can't say names because confidentiality or some shit like that. Like
Yeah,
we're all.
I can't be putting one of my 6 people out there like that. But yeah, I mean,
What?
well, remember the 6 people
Oh,
conversation?
yeah.
Put
It's just
names
funny,
out there.
man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was looking at my list and I thought maybe Benny would take it, and I was just like, dude,
It's After Hours, and it's funny.
I didn't need to overthink it. Like,
all the project names are great, but this is just, I don't want to say head and shoulders, but it's just too damn good.
it's
I have listened to this album
Yeah.
an unhealthy amount of
The
time.
Weeknd was my number 2 artist behind Drake, as it normally is. But
Yeah.
like, it's just I can't put my finger on what. There's not
He's
one.
from Canada, and that sells you enough.
I know, but like, there's not one thing in the album in particular. Like it has a little bit of a similar sound, but like
The way that I look at this album,
it's the perfect full body of work.
Yeah,
That's the
nothing.
thing.
Yes, this is the album that when I think of it, nothing jumps out at me like, damn, that's crazy. But it also does everything just really fucking well.
Okay, let me ask you guys this question, especially you, because I know you're not a huge album guy in the sense of going through and listening to the album straight way through all the time. I don't think I've jumped around on this album much.
no.
I mean, stuff has
No,
come up on
there's no need
shuffle,
to.
No.
but dude, you just hit play from the top,
Yes.
man. You can go
Yes.
do something for an
Yep.
hour and you'd be straight.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
I just that's the fullest
It's
compliment.
like I said,
can give it.
there's not a skip on this.
No, and this is
The only down, and it's not even that much of a down, is the interlude. Is the repeat after
Really?
the interlude? Which
I love
was like,
I love
but see,
the
I didn't like
interlude.
the
Yeah,
Star.
it is.
I didn't like Stargirl interlude that
No,
much
that's
either.
fair. See,
so
but
like,
I think Repeat After Me is better than Stargirl.
yeah, I would agree
So-
too. Because he was having Lana Del Rey on shit.
Yeah.
I don't need that shit. Anything else to say about After Hours?
You can't say enough.
I was gonna say we could
We could have a whole After Hours podcast.
have a whole weekend.
Night Shift podcast, After Hours. After
Oh.
the night
And you
shift.
said we could have a whole weekend. You guys tied that in a lot. I don't know if you realized it.
We're already an hour 45. So let's
We
dig
gotta
into
do
our
these
awards. Let's just go the same way. MVP. Jordan, who's your MVP of 2020?
Okay, so I had 2. They're gonna crucify me for this, but so I have Pop Smoke and Drake.
Start with Pop Smoke. I'm very interested to hear you, Drake.
Okay, so Pop Smoke I have as my MVP because he put out 2 projects this year that I think are really, really good. Granted, he's not here with us anymore, but I think Meet the Woo 2 is that Pop Smoke sound that you expect for him. And then with Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, he kind of experimented a little bit and he stepped out of it. And I think that takes a lot from an artist to be able to like step out of their boundaries and experiment and try different things. You know, he has the slower stuff like mood swing stuff. He has the rap stuff like Got It On Me. And then he has that little Spanish stuff with like Enjoy Yourself with Karol G on it and stuff. I think
I don't know. I've never listened to that song in my life.
It's actually not bad. I mean,
I'm sure.
If you listen to it, you gotta put them on. But like just the versatility that he decided to do this year, I really appreciate it. And I think maybe
Bailey said the guy on this pen looked like The Weeknd. Continue. Sorry.
That's all right.
Just
dye black, dye black hair, yeah.
And it was red.
Well, yeah.
True.
But
sorry.
That's all right. Just the versatility, I think, alone with what he decided to do with 2 albums, because he didn't really have a whole lot. Like, he had a couple features here and there, but like just on his albums alone, the versatility that he decided to do, I think, really played a part for me. Not granted, that could be a little bit recency bias, but that's the Pop Smoke. Now, the Drake one, I have because just what he did in as a whole this year. He dropped the album, whatever you want to call it, but then features, and then influence with like just outside of music as well. Like
obviously announcing Certified Lover Boy,
and then
the Nocta merch with Nike, the Certified Lover Boy merch. Yeah. That's good. I'm glad you took that into account because I did the same. That's what I was hoping we would do instead of just musically just focusing on that.
So that's why I said before, because we just did this before we started. We compiled.
I mean, the Laugh Now Cry Later music video. Laugh Now Cry Later itself. Song with Hetty.
That's why I said
Grease, all that shit.
Can we have 2? Because they're both for different reasons. Pops is more because of the music, and Drake.
I think Pops is also a celebration of what he's done. Too, since he passed.
Yeah, and then Drake is because of just his whole what he's done. With the rappers, music, merch, all that stuff. Like all that stuff. What he's done over the year, I think has really been a big influence.
Nice. I wasn't thinking you were gonna go with either of those. My MVP is The Weeknd. We just talked about it.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
My thing more so is yes, After Hours is amazing, our albums of the year, but like I was talking about the era and the music videos and all the live performances he's been putting on YouTube, that type of stuff. I think he would have had the show of the summer too if we were able to see 100%. Shows this summer. But yeah, that's my MVP. I don't have much else to say. Bailey, who's your MVP of 2020?
Griselda.
That's a good pick. I'm glad we just covered all the bases I wanted to cover.
Yeah.
that was my second pick.
Griselda ran shit this year. Unlike no other.
Consistency, quality.
Yep. Every box that needs ticked has been ticked. They do what they do very well. They were everywhere. They don't really have a bad project. I don't know if they released anything that you would say is below, like, at minimum, like a 7. Yeah. And I'm curious to see what they do this upcoming year. Jordan,
biggest surprise album and artist. You can pick which one you'll start with. I don't care. Now, surprise can be good or bad. I don't know if we talked about that, but like disappointment, I guess, would be the bad surprise. So never mind.
Yeah, that's why.
Don't listen to me.
So the surprises for me are both good. We'll start with album. Already talked about it. Limbo by Nene was my biggest surprise album of the year. Blew me out of the water. Like I said when I talked about it, 1.5 had some hits on it that I liked, but not like a full album that I really liked. This album, straight through, is just quality. 100% quality. Don't have anything else to say on it. I think just a fantastic album straight through.
Do your artist while we're here.
Okay. Artist, I had St. John. Obviously, I had While the World Was Burning. While the World Was Burning at 4 in my list. I actually went back and listened to some of his other stuff that came out. Like, he has the Baby song on there. A couple of other songs on there, too, that are
Lil Baby. You're talking about Trap?
Yeah.
That song's crazy.
Yeah.
That was on his second one.
Yeah, the second album's the one I listened to. He's really good. Mm-hmm. He's really, really good. I'd actually never even heard of him before this album came out, and then I went back and listened to some of his stuff that was on Spotify previously. He's really fucking good. Mm-hmm. I really love the way he sounds. So he was my biggest surprise artist of the year.
St. John was also my biggest surprise artist of the year. For the same reasons, I'll just say my album too. I had Jack Harlow's, that's what they all say, as my biggest surprise album. I could have put Harlow as the artist, but I think because I picked St. John because I haven't heard of him before then. So like that was the bigger surprise in the sense that I've never heard of him and then I really liked his project. So, and then obviously I said what I said about Jack Harlow's album, so I don't really have much else to say. I'll keep it moving. Bailey?
Surprise album of the year was Fuck the World by Brent Faiyaz.
Good one.
That came out of left field, and I did not expect to like it as much as I did.
I mean, I know you were listening to him a little bit more, but like you really got into him this year as well. Okay?
Yeah. And then surprise artist of the year was actually Jack Harlow.
Nice.
I did not expect to like this Jack Harlow project as much as I did.
That's really good artist, like album and artist stuff that we mentioned. Like,
Because like I could have, like let's be real, right? For biggest surprise album, I could have put any of the Griselda projects.
Right.
I could have put Limbo. I probably would have had Ariana's on there. I would have had Max, but even the Spillage Village, like, I would have had the rest. But there's like 4 or 5 albums I could have put for that.
Yeah.
So I was happy with that because it shows, to me myself, like what I like to listen to is changing.
Yeah.
But like, you know.
Well, that just shows how good.
Even my honorable mentions at the same
That just shows how good this year was in music.
And for new artists.
Yeah, it was a great year for people to get out and get exposed. I mean, you know,
Get exposed.
As terrible as this whole COVID situation was, like at least for us, I know we can say like being able to just sit at home and just listen to music is
And
right
play
up our
games
alley.
and watch shows and stuff.
Yeah, that's
it gives
right
me
up
an
our
excuse
alley.
to stay home. Sure.
Yeah, that's right up our alley.
All right, Jordan. Let's end this podcast and all this uplifting and celebration with the negatives.
Okay.
Your biggest disappointments this year.
I'm gonna save my artist because I think I'm gonna get a little bit of flack. Biggest disappointment album was the Future and Uzi project, the Pluto and Baby Pluto. We had it flop before we started this, and I didn't like the word flop because I don't think this album is necessarily a flop. But I say disappointment because I had really high expectations because Future and Uzi, like, those are two substantially well-known artists for having at least good music. You know, it might not be like over the top, but it's at least good music. And I just don't think the album's
Didn't vibe with you that much.
Didn't think it was all that great.
I know Belly loved it. I didn't like it very. I mean,
I would say love it. I like
you like it the most out of us 3.
Well, yeah. I think with that album, it's like it's nothing crazy, but it's all music I can mindlessly listen to.
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely agree with that, but I think I didn't want that. You know what I mean? I didn't want to just mindlessly listen to it. I wanted to actually
you would rather a What a Time to Be Alive.
Yes,
like a
100%.
shorter, maybe 7-10 song.
Yes.
Boom. Here's some really good stuff.
Yep, I agree.
Now you're saving your artist.
Yeah, I'm gonna say my
That's
artist.
fine. I wonder if you and I have the same artist.
Oh,
I'm
no.
going to say my artist.
Oh no.
I'll say it after my album though. My biggest disappointment this year was Eternal Take by Uzi.
I was going to put that, but I changed my answer.
Yeah, I like Eternal Take, but like I was thinking this was gonna be
Yes.
like the next Uzi project. Like
God, thank God somebody else.
you
put
know,
it.
like
Yes.
the really, and it just
I didn't.
it was good again. This isn't like the album's bad, but it didn't meet my
You
expectations.
know the thing that
and-
I really disliked about the album is you could have, for me personally, I don't know how you felt about this, because it was part like side 1 and side 2.
right. Then you had the second. Then you had the deluxe,
and then
which
you had the deluxe. If you just would have cut out all that bullshit. Just take the best songs that you thought from all the sides and just slap it and call it Eternal Take. I think that album would have been insane.
Well, and this suffers a lot from what Playboy Cardi's going to suffer from, where the hype was just so astronomical and it's just been around forever, and it's just this is what you get. You know what I mean? And I'm not even the biggest Uzi guy like that.
No.
This is actually this is perfect for this conversation. This could be kind of I don't know if you guys are ready for this. My biggest disappointment artist wise this year.
Did you just say you were going to save it?
No, Jordan's saving it. I'm saying mine. Travis Scott.
Let's fucking go, Brian! Let's go! That's what I fucking have!
Wait,
yes!
Franchise.
Awful.
Franchise isn't very good.
Awful.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't do anything else.
But
that's the reason I say it's a disappointment, because he had all these spectacular deals with like PlayStation, McDonald's, and all that stuff, but his music this year just sucks.
See, I would go further to say that I don't even think his deals are that great.
Well, but
I think the McDonald's merch was ass.
Oh yeah, but I think the deal like with him doing was cool.
Sure, but this goes back to the conversation we had where if anybody else did this, we'd call it a cop-out.
Yeah.
I just don't think Travis had that big of a year that everybody says he always has.
Yeah.
Now, the year of Astroworld,
oh my God,
Artist of the Year, sure. But, like, I think it's more so, I was everything after Astroworld has been
The only thing that
Highest in the Room's good. Jack Boys is solid, but it's not.
But it's really not a Travis album. It's more exposing.
Sure,
like,
but if Franchise is your lead single for Utopia, which is it supposedly is, that's not very good. He's like selling the singles for like 69 cents on the website and selling all these T-shirts for a single, and it's like, dude, at what point is it like?
Yeah.
At what point is it? Or, you know,
when is enough?
Well, but not even that. But like again, remember how last week we were talking about passes? I feel like Travis Scott's getting a pass right now as we start
100%.
because it's Travis.
Yes.
And apparently everything Travis touches turns to gold, which it did for a while, but I think his luck's running out, and I just don't think he had that great of a year.
I agree.
Did he get?
Is he going to get the Migos effect?
Did he? No.
No.
Did he get the bag? Absolutely, and I will never disrespect somebody for getting the bag. But just in terms of, for me,
yes.
I wanted something
Yes.
more.
Well, and I thought
Because remember
for
the
sure
Astroworld rollout, it's like
I thought for sure we were going to get an album this year.
I didn't even need an album, but just something that wasn't franchise.
Well, I mean, think about all the other stuff we had. We had the Tenet song.
Just
Okay, the Scots, like Travis's part Travis's part on the Scots, I think is okay, but Kid Cudi's part.
Dude, go ahead and say it. It's Scots is just
But like
everybody fucking overreacted because it's Travis and Cudi.
I had Kid Cudi as my other artist.
Well, I initially was gonna have whatever the fuck that album was called as the.
Man on the Mood 3.
Is that your disappointment?
No. My disappointed
album, I know what his is going to be.
My disappointed album is not what you think it is, because you think it's Edna from Heady One.
Actually, I did.
Yeah, it's actually an album that I will blatantly say was just pure ass, which was New Beginnings from Reason.
I forgot that came out.
Exactly. That's my point. Exactly. It's like
no, but that's fair because
Reason's previous album was really good.
Yeah,
this is just some
and
hot ass.
that Dreamville project.
Yeah,
no, it's not hot ass. It's not hot ass.
Yeah, and I don't even have much else to say about that. And the bust artist wise is my man Lil Uzi Vert. He essentially had 3 tries at making a good project this year. It failed at all 3 of them.
Well, for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For anyone with working ears.
Oh, see, I don't think they're bad projects.
Okay, like Eternal Take's
I just
not
think
a bad project.
It suffers from the hype and
but it's just like there's nothing. Like I'm the biggest Uzi fan here,
for sure. Mm-hmm.
This album is just has to be one of his worst. This is not.
Yeah, and then it's consistent.
And then he released a deluxe, which was a whole new album,
which wasn't much better.
Which wasn't much better.
I mean, yes, sir.
And then you have
the
Baby
one.
Pluto X Pluto. Which is just cool. It's the best out of the 3 he's probably released this year, but it's still just.
Oh no!
I would say Vanilla Eternal Take is probably my favorite of the 3.
Yeah,
I just don't think all 3 of them are not that good.
But I don't even think Eternal Take's that good either. So
yeah, it's not saying much when the Vanilla is
the
best, and it's probably like here.
They all range from 4 to 6 in my opinion.
So you're not excited for those 2 albums then? I don't think.
I'm hoping he can turn it around because I like
Uzi. See, you said the Migos affected, and that would be a scenario where.
See, I want to get hyped because you said it's what Love Is Rage 3 and what's
and
the
then
other?
Forever Young or something.
Love Is Rage 3,
which just sounds like
that sounds like you got Trippie Red all over it.
Yeah, it sounds like the Lil Yachty project that was like whatever the.
I have a feeling that Love Is Rage 3 is going to suffer from the Kid Cudi effect.
Yeah, that's what you got to be careful with because Love Is Rage 1 and 2 are fantastic. So
factual.
Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. It's been we're right at the 2-hour mark, which is good. Actually went longer than I thought it did.
Well, see, actually, I thought it was actually longer. I thought we spent more time.
It was a very solid episode. We were very focused, locked in, some good conversation.
Towards the end, or hour 30 mark, we
at
started
some
laughing.
at some point, it's going to go off the tracks. It wouldn't be us without it.
I started talking about and
we said fucking West Africa is Jordan's fucking
backyard.
No, yeah, which is not what I meant at all. But proportion, blown out of. Blown out of proportion. I said that backwards.
So weird.
I said that backwards.
You said it like Shakespeare proportions.
Yeah, I said like
Yoda.
Yeah.
We are the Night Shift Podcast. Thank you for sticking around if you've made it this far. It was a great 2020 in music. Next week we are going to look forward to 2021 and what will hopefully be a better year for the world. But music-wise, it's lining up to be pretty good. We'll get into that next week. Maybe we'll do something similar for the next episode for next year.
You know what? Real quick, since the episode's about to end, I'll leave you all with some good news. The Steelers game is 16-0 Bengals. Not good news for Jordan.
Well, no, that's good news for you fantasy-wise.
Yeah.
Because that means Andy's defense is getting shat upon.
Yeah.
Shout out Andy for being on last week. I didn't get to say it at the top of the episode. But yeah, we're the Night Shift Podcast. Again, Spotify, not SoundCloud. Fuck SoundCloud. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, everywhere. You know where to find us. it's been real. It's been a great year in music. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. I'm Brian Markley, Bailey Gary at B Gary 24, capital B, capital G. J Wakefield 98, capital JW. Night Shift Podcast at _TNSP, and we out. Peace!